bit slow. But it looks like we're live. I'm just going to let the pre-roll play a little bit. Send out some tweets.
Some tweets? Tweet, tweet.
Animations.
Don't judge me.
Oh, neither of our audio is on. It's just a going on right now.
No, I was telling you, don't judge me. I didn't think we were actually that it was going. I'm glad I stopped my Ben Shapiro. I'm working on getting my impersonation of him down. Because, you know, Josh, whenever you're trying to talk like Ben Shapiro, you need to make sure that first off you have a condescending tone. Because, quite frankly, I'm the smartest person in the room. And if you're going to sit there and try to be Ben Shapiro, you need to try to sound like you're someone who's trying to be the smartest person in the room.
Actually, I think you need to first recognize that I'm the smartest person in the known universe, and
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Hold on a sec. Need the link.
Oh, dude. What's the name of it? The Way of the House Husband, dude, is one you may actually like.
Oh yeah, I actually have been collecting that.
I just read Volume 1 today, and oh, that is a great book.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Testing out the levels.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, I guess my
What the fuck?
my audio has been.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
The people's have
What
heard
the
us.
fuck?
I see.
What the fuck?
I have to do that separately
the
on the
fuck?
mixer. Okay, well, now I know.
What the fuck?
It's not like we were really
What the
doing anything
fuck?
other than, you know,
What
making
the
jokes
fuck?
at, you know, Ben Shapiro's expense.
What the fuck? What the
Ah,
fuck?
well, I'm sure he doesn't mind. He gets it all
What
the
the
time.
fuck?
But, no.
What the
At least
fuck?
from us, it's coming
What
from
the fuck?
a place of,
What the
like I
fuck?
say, we're having a
What the
laugh at his
fuck?
expense, but it's not a we're
What the
being mean about
fuck?
it. We're literally just like, you know,
What the fuck?
it's Ben Shapiro. I mean, come
What
on.
the
One
fuck?
of the most meme-worthy
What the
conservatives there is.
Well, he's
What
pretty
the
big, so
fuck?
he can take it.
What the fuck?
He's not even gonna ever
What
really
the
know
fuck?
about it because he's too big to
What
notice
the
a
fuck?
small fry like us. But anyway,
What the fuck?
Quiet down for a second.
What
I'm
the
just gonna
fuck?
Say hello to the
What
lovely
the
internet
fuck?
worlds. Hello, YouTube.
What
Thank
the
you
fuck?
for coming.
What the
If you're
fuck?
watching this, you are going to be getting an inside look at how I do my animation. You know, for things like this other Juanpool animation
What
that I
the fuck?
did, for Troy.
What the
This was
fuck?
my favorite panel from
What the
Juanpool
fuck?
issue 2.
What
and,
the
I've been wanting
fuck?
to animate that for a really long time.
What the
So I'm going to
fuck?
keep animating some Juanpool stuff because I
What
had a
the
lot of fun
fuck?
doing that. It wasn't like
What
a
the fuck?
crazy amount of work, but
What the
you know,
fuck?
still requires a good amount. And I thought, you
What
know,
the
why not spread
What the
the
fuck?
joy of animation with the world?
What the
show people
fuck?
how I brought
What
that to
the
life,
fuck?
and we're today
What the fuck?
going to be bringing to life
What the fuck?
our good friend
What the fuck?
Badger Bitch.
What the
also
fuck?
From, issue
What
1
the
as
fuck?
opposed to issue 2.
What the
sorry,
fuck?
Let's get that out of the way.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the
I don't have
fuck?
the folders open.
What the
I should
fuck?
have had them open right from the beginning.
What the fuck?
But
What the
so
fuck?
we're doing
What the fuck?
today I'm going to be animating
What the fuck?
page 17,
What the fuck?
panel 5
What the fuck?
from Juanpool issue 1.
What the
So
fuck?
here is
What the fuck?
page
What the fuck?
17.
What
just
the
double check
fuck?
that That's
What the fuck?
there. I gotta get back to here. Okay. So here is panel 17, and this is panel 5, the one with Badger Bitch going, "Get your hate speech off my planet." I'm gonna be voicing Badger Bitch. We did a little bit of a little bit of a what do you call that again? Audition for Badger Bitch with one of our good supporters. We try to give people a chance who are supporters of ours. Try to get people involved where they can. And yeah, he's a good friend of ours, big supporter, love the guy to death. Unfortunately, his delivery just wasn't quite what I was looking for Badger Bitch. I mean, if people are familiar with the reference that this is from, they'll know, that this is. You gotta have a little bit of oomph. You gotta have those turkey wings jiggling, and you gotta have a lot of anger, self-righteous indignation in there to really bring it to life.
So what you're saying is you need to get the Trigglypuff thing going.
Exactly. There's the reference. It's a little bit of an old meme, but it's a classic. Everybody recognizes it. So we're doing that. Obviously, since it's on the screen here, it's kind of tilted and whatnot. I got Troy to send me. Actually, I didn't even have to ask him. He just knew automatically that I was going to need this. So Troy sent me the full picture of Badger Bitch. Before he kind of like scaled it and moved it down in perspective there, so we can work from a really nice high quality image, and then we can composite that after the fact onto the phone. And I'm not sure exactly how I'll do that. I think what I'll probably do is I'll animate them separately as 2 separate scenes. So this will be one scene with the hands holding the phone, right? And then, that'll have like a couple different elements. It'll have like the phone element, 1 hand, 2 hands, and then maybe the background. I'll probably have to recreate that in Photoshop. Because of all like the textures and stuff there. Either that or maybe Troy still has it. Maybe not, don't know. But yeah, so that'll have like, those 3 elements, and then probably I'll insert the video as like from the other one, from the Badger Bitch, Triggly animation. And then I'll insert that as like just a movie inside that, and then kind of get that going. I'll probably have to. I don't think Juanpool has a line. I think it's just the Badger Bitch line. So that's the first step of getting all this going. Is you gotta plan it out. You gotta kind of the Badger Beige Trigglypuff animation. So we gotta kind of look at that and think about like, okay, what elements do we need to make this work? So since a lot of this is going to be like jiggling around, you're going to have her tits flapping all over the place, her belly jiggling, and her forearms will probably have some jiggle going on like here.
Jiggle.
The chicken wings, those are definitely going to be having to like flap around.
Oh yeah, you got to make sure to have that jiggle in the chicken wing.
Yeah, you've got this part right back here, but it's like all fat, so that's going to be jiggling. Probably the shoulders not as much; those will probably be fairly stiff. But I'm still going to add deformers and stuff to that, so that you have like some good. I was going to say definition, but just like. Yeah, it's like that's going to be a good solid base for everything. And then the fists, like I'll have to also seek out the Trigglypuff animation as reference, because that's we got to get that. Yeah, for this one, the mouth is going to be a particularly difficult part because there's a lot of detail in that mouth. That's going to be
Oh
rough.
yeah.
But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. I mean, he's also got the foam coming out of the sides of the mouth, so that's going to be a tricky part for sure. So there we go.
You got this. You got this.
Oh, of course I do. So the first thing we want to do, and also, of course, you know, I didn't want to do this all alone because, like, I'm going to be animating and stuff. I'm going to be rigging. I'm going to be doing all kinds of that stuff. So it takes a little bit of focus and attention. So I got my good friend Bob Jones here to kind of, you know, jump in and keep the conversation flowing. You know.
If nothing else, I can always make a whole bunch of, I guess you could say, pop culture references, Deadpool style, but not nearly as funny or as well thought out.
Yeah.
Or as good.
Well, either way, he'll help me to kind of prevent too much dead air.
Alright.
Obviously, I'll interrupt any time that, you know, I need to kind of jump in there and explain something or whatnot. But
Right.
if you're not familiar with Toon Boom, I imagine a lot of people who are watching this stream aren't. But if you are, you're probably interested in animation, particularly the you know, the rig animation, which is what I am familiar with, and that's what I use in my day job, and what I like to use for you know, for my own animation as well. I think it's extremely versatile, with especially with a program like Toon Boom Harmony, which is what I'm using today, and I swear by it. Even if you're doing hand-drawn animation, it's also very good for that too. It runs largely, you know, using vectors, so, you know, whatever you end up doing, you can blow it up to 4K super easily, you can shrink it down, whatever, and it'll keep that, you know, that crisp line, or you know, textured line, whichever you end up using, because you can do textured lines as well, which is very nice.
Alright, this is driving me nuts. I gotta fix this.
What you fixing, Bob?
Alright, so I went by a store here in town that sells toys and whatnot, a lot of action figures and whatnot, and they had a Arkham Asylum Joker in the box, everything. So I put it up next to my Damian Wayne Robin on the wall. Damian Wayne was higher than the other one. I was like, okay, because I can't handle this no more. I catch myself just glancing up at it like, no, you got to go away.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Bob Jones as well, I also just wanted to point out that we did a little animation for him recently, and that's this right here. What you're seeing on your screen there is our animated Bob Jones. Obviously, our take on...
That's right, America. I'm here to make sure that the reticuloids and the soy don't be getting into our comic books and making the superheroes gay.
Yeah, which they
Granted,
do.
they're already doing it, but, you know, it's gonna be a lot more of a fight with me on the front line.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we got all kinds of stuff on the Streamlabs here now that I've been setting up, you know, so we can kind of flip back and forth if we ever need to have some sort of visual, you know, reference of something that we've done.
Also, what's up, Neostar?
Oh, we got somebody in the chat, do we? Thank you for keeping an eye on the chat, because the way I have things set up, I can't really, like, see it all the time while I'm working.
Not a problem. That's what I'm here for, bro. That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. And Neostar's a good boy. He's a good friend of ours. He's the creator of Riser Man, and he says the brilliant star that shines through the night, the surge of power that jumpstarts justice. Riser Man stands before you. I like that. That's fun, man. That's fun. It's a good little catchphrase you got there.
And very reminiscent of, which I always think of, like the 90s animes that would, you know, like very. I can't help but think of things like Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it made me think of Pokemon right away.
Yep. If I could remember the Jesse and James speech, I would do it, but I can't remember.
Oh, I know.
Because I was never a Pokemon fan like that.
I had that drilled into me from watching Pokemon. I used to be watching that all the time. But yeah, we got that. We got the Juanpool animation that I did just before. We've got our, of course, excellent MANimations logo. designed by me, drawn by Jeremy Fine, of course, my partner in animating crime, and then animated by me with a few extra little musical notes provided by Jeremy, and a little grunt provided by Jeremy too, which he did a great job on. We got our Lino animation.
What's up,
that we did
geeks
to
and
make fun of
gamers?
that
It's
soy-soaked
Lionel
Thundercats.
coming to you with
That was
another
still a great video.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was just like, oh yeah, let's have Lionel, endorse these geeks and gamers who are like constantly, ripping
Dogging on it.
Oh yeah, totally. But I thought it turned out great. I mean, I learned a lot on that one too, and I've learned a lot since. Like I noticed a few things wrong with the rig, and it was based like some of the ways that I rigged it, just like. It leaves like these little lines on the shoulder, these little teeny tiny, barely perceptible lines. As it gets closer on there, you'll kind of notice them a little more, particularly on the front shoulder here. Yeah, like that bugs me. But I know how to fix that now. I've learned a lot since then. I've been getting better and better at the rigging side of things. I made this little reaction for Troy. Super quick, and then there's our old Tim Doyle animation we did with him running.
That is great. I like.
And then there's this one. This was one that was animated.
Every time I see the Tim Doyle one, that's what I automatically think of. The.
Yeah, well, I mean, we like making fun of him, but yeah, he's not really relevant anymore. Now it's just like a funny. Thing from the past, and then there's this awesome Star Wars one making fun of what's his face. I forget what his name was, the guy that we were making fun of. But he always had really stupid takes with Star Wars and just media in general. He was like a film reviewer, something John Campia. That was it. Yeah, he's not a great fella.
What's sad is I don't know who like a lot of the people were. Like I only knew who Tim Doyle was because when I first was like, oh okay, well looked on Twitter to see who Tim Doyle was, I was already blocked.
Oh yeah, he was one of those types. But anyway, we got our scene here. I'm gonna jump right into it. We've had our pleasantries and we've looked at some of our classic animations that we've done with MANimations so far. So
and Theostar says the introduction was based on a combination of Darkwing Duck and Hurricane Polymer.
Well, I know Darkwing Duck, but I've never heard of Hurricane Polymar. That's a new one to me. Anyway, so first off, we need to import the image that we're going to be basing this off of. And I should have that here in Science Wizard Cartoons, Juanpool, page 17, panel 5. I got the reference, and it's right here. Check all your settings, create layer or layers based on file names. We only have one, so we can just go create single layer named Badger B. Oh, there we go. Badger underscore B. It says import as Toon Boom bitmap drawing, which is fine. Actual size, straight, alpha, which means like it's not going to have any transparency or anything like that, or if it does have transparency, like basically however the image is, like that's how it's going to go in there. So start off with that. Now I noticed that my scene settings, you can see my camera box here, doesn't quite fit. So the first thing I got to do is I've got to change my scene settings. So the first thing I'm going to do is check what the dimensions are on that image. I think it says that in the details. Yeah, here we go. Dimension image 2048 by 1324. Alright, so 2038 by 1324. Alright. So that should have the proper scale now.
All I gotta say, dude, you gotta love 4K, man. Gotta love 4K.
What about it?
By the sound of it, the picture's in 4K.
No.
Like,
Well, 4K means like 4,000 pixels plus.
I thought it was like you said it was 38 something.
No.
I misheard you. Sorry.
That's all right. It was 2048 by
Oh.
1324.
Okay.
So it's
Oh, okay.
it's around like HD kind of area. Neostar is saying Polymar is an anime superhero from the 70s, made by the same company that made Speed Racer and Battle of the Planets. Oh, okay, so that's like old school stuff. Yeah, that was
Go,
probably
Speed
a little
Racer.
bit before my time. I know Speed Racer was slightly before my time.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm aging myself or making myself seem younger.
No, dude, don't make me bust out the camera. I'm just saying.
2048 by 1382. I'm just trying to figure out like why. And that's another thing with this. Like you're always going to be kind of troubleshooting all the way, all across this thing. Now, 96 DPI. Can I change the DPI? No. I don't think so. And obviously frame rate, we want 24 frames per second. That's pretty standard for TV animation.
Oh, really?
Yep. And, oh shoot, what happened to my settings?
I ate them.
I don't doubt it. 2048, 1324. 2038, 13. Oops, what was it again? 1324. 1324. Okay, make sure it stays there. So I just got to go to the node view. That's over here. And I'm going to go into my special node view so I can show you directly. So this here is the Badger Bitch image that we're working off of. And this here is just like a random drawing. They always start you off with just your write, your display, a composite node, which just is like it's sort of like how do I explain this? It's sort of like whatever you want to display. So whatever you want to display, you put into the node that the display is connected to, right?
Okay.
And then you can connect, drawings and all sorts of things to that node, and that's what's going to show up in your display. So I'm going to change the name of this to the master display. And that tells me that this is basically like my final display. Like, you can add like multiple displays and you can switch to the display. Let's see, not the camera view, just building regular. There's a thing up here that lets you change your display. So there's a display all, which will just display like everything that's in your node view. So however big this is, whatever's in there, it'll just show everything. Anything you put in there, it'll show everything. You don't want to use that a lot. I almost never ever use it. So I almost always stick to my master display. And then I'll usually create displays as I go for individual sections that I want to like focus in on, or I'll use a spot display, is what I like to call it. And that just means like, oh, I need to isolate this one element and I need to see just that, nothing else. So what I'll do then is I'll press enter on the node view. I'll put display and say I only want to look at this drawing here. So I'll connect a display to that drawing and I'll go here and it'll show me that drawing. Now there's nothing on that drawing right now, but if there was, then that's all that would be showing up there. Is what's on that display. And you can even like move that display around. If you hold Alt and then click and drag, it'll kind of connect to whichever is closest, and then you just let go, and there we go. Now we're looking solely at the Badger Bitch reference image. So this one, I really, really like. Cannot stress how amazing this system is for doing this kind of animation. Because back in the day, you only had like the timeline to work with, and it's all like, you know, stacked on top of each other, and you like the more complicated your rig gets, like the longer this list is, and you're constantly scrolling to try and find something, and you know, the order of operations is like very specific and important to how that all works. And I remember like back using Flash and stuff. God, I hated that. Oh my god, it was awful. But yeah, now we've got a much simpler, much easier way of doing things. What happened to my palette? I don't know. What happened to my palette?
I am here to be the board of listening with the occasional comment and joke.
Indeed.
Not really knowledgeable on animation.
So anyway, one of the first things I'm going to do here is in my node view, I'm going to press. I'm going to select the Badger Bitch picture, press Control P, and that's going to give me a peg. Now, what pegs are in this is essentially is where you put any animation information. So if you notice, like, you know, I can move this around and it'll still put information on that, but to kind of make things easier so that you're not always affecting the drawing. Plus, like certain things that you do, like if you put if you make a deformer, right, to kind of like shift things around and deform things. If you have that on an image, and then you move the image, it will move it kind of like outside of the deformer as you've intended. So that's why you want to put your animation information on pegs. So one of the things we've got to do with this is we've got to scale it down to fit the
Inner box.
The camera border. So I tend to, and this is the anchor point. So I just find the corner. I throw the anchor point on that corner. And I like to zoom in real far for that, just so I can get it like really, really accurate. It's weird. We made the scene setting the same as the image, and it doesn't perfectly fit. Oh well. I can tweak that a little bit later. It's not super necessary because, like, one of the things we're going to do with this build is we're going to build beyond, you know, the actual border of this thing, because as it moves, you know, if you cut it off right there at the border, you know, and you're, you know, moving around, if it's just cut off at the border, it's just going to have like this weird it looks bad. That's all I can say. It will look bad. Check the chat. He was also in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Oh, I never played that. I wanted to. It looked cool. I think it was exclusively for the Wii. So, a couple of the things that are jumping out at me right away looking at this is her kind of cheek and her head kind of blends into her body there, and her double chin. So that's gonna create a interesting interesting hurdle per se. But first,
you know, for those of us who have seen that episode of South Park.
Yeah. But the first thing I want to do is make a new palette. I'm going to call this Badger Bitch, because that's who this is for. So that starts
Badger
off with the
Bitch.
default. Start us off with the default, and that's going to be our line, because it's just pure black. That's all we need for that. Now I'm just going to start, you know, selecting colors from the base image and naming them. So we're going to have skin. And I'm not going to go through all the different, you know, shading levels. Like, that's something for compositing, and we want to try and keep this like fairly simple. So it's going to be flat colors, similar to, you know, the Juanpool one that I did before. Like, you'll notice, like,
What the fuck?
it doesn't have any shading except for the
What the fuck?
bits of
What the fuck?
the
What
hatching.
the fuck?
I made sure to have like that,
What
that
the fuck?
Troy-esque hatching
What the
on there,
fuck?
because Troy has that very
What the
specific kind of look to his stuff with the way he does his
Yeah.
hatching, and I think it's great, it's unique, and I think that's one of the things that really helps Juanpool stand out as a fantastic series. So if you're watching this stream later on, or if you've just joined us, be sure to check out Juanpool, issues 1 and issue 2. They're on indieplanet.com/science-wizard-comics. So check those out. They're available digital and physical. They're fantastic. I love them. I swear by them. Cannot recommend them highly enough. One of the best superhero parodies that you can get in indie comics.
And I can honestly say I reviewed it and can co-sign this. It was, I mean, like I said in the review, it is all I gotta say is issue 3, man. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be great.
So this is, yeah, I can't wait either. Troy says he's getting back in the saddle for comics lately. So he's going to start working on the Offspring one-shot. And that's going to be awesome, because that sets up a lot of really cool stuff. And if you do like Juanpool, you're definitely going to want to check out Offspring. There might be some Easter eggs in there that Juanpool fans will get to enjoy. From what I've heard behind the scenes. Let's see, this is going to be her clothes layer, maybe? What should I call it? Top? Top layer. No. Shirt? Is it really a shirt? What kind of... What do I even call that thing?
That's a tube top type deal, like almost a tube top. Well, actually, no, it'd be like a strapless swimsuit, almost even.
Let's call it outfit main. Let's call it outfit main. Hopefully that makes sense to me down the line, because it might not. Alright, so next up, we gotta get her hair. And I'll go for that lighter gray. That's gonna be hair. Boom. And then we'll get ear interior. Bam.
So I busted out one of, I wouldn't say a classic, but definitely a game that was underrated when it came out.
What's that?
Dark Sector.
Oh, you know what? That is an underrated game. It's difficult, too. That was a hard game.
But once you get like the glaive and everything down, oh man.
Once you get used to the glaive, because it does take some getting used to.
Oh yeah. And the game supports 4K.
Nice. Let's see, and then we'll also give her an eye, because she's got kind of yellow, gross eyes. We'll go eye, base, and then we're going to need her eyebrows, because that's a whole different color too. And I try to keep these all together. So eye pupil stuff, eyebrows, all in kind of the same area, and then skin, tattoos, hair, and
Those
ear
eyes!
stuff.
Those cold eyes.
And then we got the mouth stuff. So that's gonna be tricky.
That's the thing of nightmares.
So let's start with the mouth interior. And then just, you gotta hold and drag it to here. So that's gonna be like that color. Okay. And then this will be, we want to keep the tongue and the interior of the mouth separate, even though they are similar colors. So that's gonna be tongue. Boom.
Remember,
Slight-
kids, you want to get into animation, it's gonna take a lot of patience.
Yes, it does. This isn't a fast, like, boom, boom, boom kind of thing. It's a slow and methodical process. And then we got the nasty, disgusting teeth. And then, oops. Oh, what happened
Teeth
here?
so bad it makes me feel bad about my grill.
Ah, there he goes. It was on swatch mode. Don't know how it got there. Okay. And last but not least, for the mouth, we've got the gums. And we'll just color pick right there in the gums. Okay. Now, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have the foam that's kind of coming out of her mouth. I'm gonna have that be a effect animation. I'm gonna do that separately from the actual character animation. I don't want it to be a part of her rig because I think we can make it a lot more fun and dynamic, and we can have it sort of like bubbling as it comes out. Maybe even like dripping down her face and
Looking
whatnot.
all like giving her that truly rabid look. All right, cat, hop down. My leg's going to sleep.
Actually, you know what? I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm also going to add the eye veins. There we go. Eye veins. Because those are nice. Nasty, blood red eye veins. And I'll probably attach those to the eye base. Or maybe, you know what I might do is I might attach those to the pupil peg. That way when the pupils move, the eye veins will kind of move with them. So it kind of looks like it gives you that sort of like 3D eye kind of feel without actually being 3D. And let me see. I think...
You know, it's just tricks you learn when you've actually done a lot of animation.
Mm-hmm. And I think what else I'm going to do is I'm also going to add that lip highlight. Excuse me. So that lip highlight, I'll have that as part of her mouth right there. So you got all the mouth stuff right there in that section.
Wait.
Did I miss
Are
anything?
you saying she needs makeup? God, that's so sexist. You're so canceled.
She needs a lot of things. So there we go. there we go. We got our palette for Badger Bitch. Obviously, we're not doing the foam because that's going to be a separate layer, a separate effects layer, and effects animation. And then we've obviously we're not doing anything with the sky or anything there. That'll be recreated in its own separate thing that we'll import later on as a background. So the next thing we got to do is we got to start figuring out exactly what we're going to need for Badger Bitch.
Is it hookers?
No. As far as the
And
layers,
like that, you've lost me.
as far as the layers go. Okay, now let's go back to the chat here. See what Neo starts talking about. He says one of these days we'll have to power scale the Juanpool cast. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. Pixel Trader says my left ear is really enjoying MANimations Inc.'s commentary. Thank you, thank you, Pixel Trader. He's a good friend as well. I love him. He hosts IndieCron, which is a indie comic book tracking site and promotion site as well. Super great. I love it. We promoted Juanpool through there. When we did the Indiegogo campaign for the first and second Juanpool books. So you should definitely check out IndieCron. And we've been talking behind the scenes, and hopefully, eventually we're going to be able to figure out something else that we're trying to figure out the details on. I mean, I can't really say much about it because it's really just sort of like in the sort of like conceptual stage. But you know, hopefully it'll be something that can like bring a lot of stuff together and really sort of be a hub for much more. But anyway, I don't know what power scaling is. Is that sort of like when you had like the backs of those like trading cards back in the days, and they had like strength, intelligence, and speed and stuff like that, and power. Is that what you're talking about? Because yeah, I think Troy has already started doing that with the Juanpool trading cards. I think he does have that like power scaling thing on the back. I can't remember 100% off the top of my head, but I do think it is there.
Hey, there you go. This is Troy, man. Don't put it past him. Troy's like everyone else in this circle. Hails from the days of Wizard comics.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you know.
He knows what's
I
up.
miss Wizard.
I do miss Wizard. Neostar also says, I'll have to ask my artist if he's willing to draw some of the heroes in the indie comics lineup. Yeah, one of these days, eventually, if we can really get like some good funding for MANimations, one of these days we also want to branch that out into video game content as well. One of the things we've been talking about for a long time that we'd like to do is sort of like an indie comics like fighting game. And I just think that'd be super awesome because then we could just have like all sorts of indie comics characters: Jack Irons, Sportman, Juanpool. You could get Riserman in there. You could get the Abductables.
Adobe Kroger.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
And special DLC Bob Jones, because that'd be hilarious.
No. Even better. Instead of Bob Jones being a fighter, we could have one of the stages be the Comic Wars set.
That'd be hilarious.
So you'll have like in the center you got like Bob Jones kind of like slamming his fist over and over and like pointing and raging and stuff like that, and then you can kind of go all the way over so that you kind of see like the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Like you got the screen ends and then you still keep going, and then there's like all the people behind the scenes with like boom mics and whatnot,
and you got to make sure
people cheering on.
you got to make sure to have a coffee machine somewhere there too, just because it's not Bob Jones if there's not coffee there.
Is that what fuels Bob Jones?
Yeah, that's totally what fuels Bob Jones.
All right, good to know.
That's also what keeps Bob Jones out of prison.
All right. Well, next up on the to-do list with the Badger Bitch animation is, now that we've got our palette, I'm gonna go to my node view, press enter, and look up trans.
No copy.
And I want a transparency color correct node. I throw that on the Badger Bitch there, and then it puts it down by I think 50% automatically. Yeah, 50%. So it's now at 50% transparency. And now, so I want to get a new composite, and this is going to be just for all the Badger Bitch stuff. So the first thing we want to do is you want to start thinking about, and first off, actually before that, I want to lock. So on the timeline here, you can see there's a little lock next to the icon here for the Badger Bitch image. And I just want to lock that. So what that means is I locked the image, so now I can't select it, right? So, because one of the things, like, you don't want to accidentally select it and move it, because we're going to be tracing a lot of this. It's very important that it stays put. This is going to be where it stays. All right, so next up, let me just see here for a second. Let me get back to this. I'm going to mute myself for a second, just one moment.
All right, I just had to mute my mic for a second. I needed to retrieve some of my precious coffee.
Okay, go get your coffee. I'll keep.
No, I already did.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I muted myself for a minute because I had to go get coffee.
oh, okay. Well, I'm back now too. I just had to sniffle. I didn't want to assail people's ears with that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to start making our layers, our drawing layers for all the different elements that we want to compose Badger Bitch out of.
And to help people kind of understand, if you do any regular drawing digitally, layers, but for people who don't, picture layers as okay. Picture like a cake, okay, where you're adding to it each each layer to that cake you're adding to the cake, but each layer is a drawing over the previous one to allow you to be able to improve the drawing as you go on.
Well, this is a little bit different because we're not really using a purely layer-based system. Like that would be over here. This is like layer-based over here on the timeline, and over here in the node view, that's where we're going to be doing the majority of our building. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start with like the bigger stuff and kind of go smaller as I go up. So first off, we're going to have the belly. That's the biggest part. So there's the belly. I'm going to rename that drawing. And then over here on the timeline, there's little shapes. There's like a triangle, a circle, and a square with a plus. It's really tiny, and it's way off in the timeline view. And for some reason, they don't have that in the node view. I think you can like insert it from here, like with the drawing. And there's also Control R. But I'm just so used to hitting this little button over here on the timeline. You know, for the longest time, like I didn't know about Control R, but let me try it. Control R. Oh, that's nice, nice and quick. But yeah, so we're gonna add just one more, and one of the things like with a rig like this is you're not gonna be considering this to be sort of like left. You're not gonna be considering it as left and right. So she's like slightly 3/4, right, in her view. So we're going to be going front and back. So this arm right here, that's going to be the back arm. This is going to be the front arm. This is going to be the front eye, the back eye. The front boob, the back boob, etc. And that's generally how we kind of like make
operate
sense of that stuff. Because of like the way it all layers together, and especially because if you flip the character, like say Badger Bitch here is a very
robust woman.
No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Not even remotely.
I know, but I had to give people the shudder factor.
What's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical. She's very symmetrical. Same with like Pineapple Pizza Man. He's very symmetrical. Canadian Bacon Boy is very symmetrical, except for like on one arm it says Canadian, on the other arm it says boy. So they're very symmetrical, and because of that, when you have symmetrical characters, a lot of the times you won't do a full rotation all the way around. You'll just do kind of like half a rotation. So from the front, 3/4 profile, 3/4 back, and that's it. And then what you'll do is if there's any like small thing, because if you flip the character, your right's your left and your left is your right? So that could get very confusing very fast. So that's why
it's already
we do
confusing.
And that's why we do front arm, back arm, as opposed to left arm, right arm, etc., etc. Because once you flip the character, it's really, really confusing because you start thinking like, oh, that's the right arm, it's on the right. But it's actually the left arm because of you flipped the character.
Yeah.
So I'll get into that more down the line when we start doing like full and proper rigs. One of the things I really want to do, and I'm just going to close that for a second and bring up some images so I can share that with you guys. So one of the things I really, really want to do is some Pineapple Pizza Man animation.
Which, speaking of Pineapple Pizza Man, for some reason, I picture Pineapple Pizza Man as having the classic superhero voice. Very strong, very proud, very like 1950s superhero.
Not really. He's a little more modern than that. A lot more. He grew up in kind of like the 70s and the 80s, not the 50s.
Okay. But for some reason I pictured like Bacon Boy's voice is just always so down and very like, God, I don't want to be doing this.
Yeah, he's more like a little soy-soaked SJW type. But here, check out this this Pineapple Pizza Man drawn by Taku, Yotaku Boy on Twitter. He's awesome. I love his style. He's got a very animation kind of style. I commissioned him a while back to do this this Pineapple Pizza Man, and I just love it so much. I'm just like, hell yes. If I do a cartoon of Pineapple Pizza Man, if I start doing animation for him, this is the style I want to do it in. So
it strikes me as very much similar to like X-Men Evolution.
it does kind of, doesn't it? But it just works so great for Pineapple Pizza Man.
Yeah.
And then
It
Canadian
really
Bacon
does.
Boy as well in that style. He just captured his like little his kind of soyness so well. I love it so much. So I'm kind of waiting for him to open up commissions again. Eventually, I'll get him to do. I want to get him to do, if he's okay with it, like a full rotation of Pineapple Pizza Man in that style, and of Juanpool. I want to get all the main kind of Science Wizard Comics characters in that style with a full rotation. Just so that I can do more animation with them, and then if I have like one solid full rotation rig of each of those characters, that'll be like very robust. I can use it a lot. I can use it over and over and over again. It's much more versatile. Essentially, I want to make a rig that you could use for like that would be of a quality that you would use for like a proper like rig-based TV animation show,
Gotcha.
Let's get back to the chat for a second here. Neostar says, Bob Jones ring announcer. Bob Jones background animation. Hell yes. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, if we do a... Oh, and Humble Marty's here. Yeah, Humble Marty. Woo, woo,
What's
woo.
up, Humble Marty?
Oh yeah, we love Humble Marty. She's the best. She did a great review of Juanpool. She's a super great supporter. She's got her own comic kind of character that she's working on. Corkhorn seems like super cute and funny.
Also, total sweetheart.
Total sweetheart. Yeah, there's no shortage of love for Humble Marty in Science Wizard or MANimations. No shortage at all. But yeah, I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, if we do a test level, like a test, like a little vertical slice of a Indie Sphere fighting game, we have to use the Comic Wars set. We have to. It's just too perfect.
Come on, you get to have me saying a bunch of crazy, just crazy Alex Jones-esque shit in the background.
Well, even if it's not the even if it's not on the Comic Wars level, I think I'd still want to have Bob Jones be the announcer for the game in general. just
I would do it too. I would so do it without even a second thought.
Round 1, fight, you bastards!
Listen, all right, there's got to be a good, clean fight. I don't want to be seeing any low blows, any secret weapons, any explosives. None of that.
No
It's just gonna be straight.
reticuloids.
Definitely no reticuloid. And no soy. No secret soy attacks. I'm looking at you, Bacon Boy.
Keep it clean, keep it soy free. That's
Exactly.
good. That'd be fun.
No. What's funny? What's funny? I've actually been working on getting a proper Alex Jones. I think I've actually gotten a bit closer to what he actually sounds like. It's just that I don't feel right doing Alex Jones while trying to do Bob Jones. I shouldn't make him sound exactly alike.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is definitely something I want to do. And of course Corkhorn, because then you'd have like a little short character. That'd be fun. Because then like all like the high kicks and the high punches just don't hit him. Because I always thought that was weird when you have like a really short character in fighting games. And then like you have all these like people who are punching way above them and they're still getting hit. And I'm just like, like that kind of defeats the purpose of having a short character. Because like you want to have that short character to be like, haha, you can't reach me, I'm like way down here. So you have to like almost exclusively deal with like ducking or low kicks or like low punches or like ducking kicks and punches and stuff like that. Or
if you really want
to
to piss people
to jump.
Unless it's you're playing GoldenEye 007 and it's Odd Job.
Mm-hmm. Neostar says you have his full permission to go J. Jonah Jameson on Riser Man.
I'll do it.
All
I'll
right.
gladly do it.
Oh man, that'd be so great. You could have Badger Babe and Badger Bitch. Or they could be like a team combo kind of thing. So like you switch out Badger Babe for Badger Bitch for like, you know, like the fast kind of like pop, 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 pop. And then if you just want to like switch back to Badger Bitch and you got like the super like really hard and slow kind of like that duality.
Tanky.
Yeah, that would be neat. But anyway, so getting back to this, I'm going to add a drawing. And I'm just going to keep it to the 2 drawings for now. So this is going to be the front tit.
That's good. Bust out the pistol.
Yeah. So, let me see here. How do I want to go about this? So I got the belly, front tit. And you know what? I'm going to go back tit.
Yeah. Remember, kids, say no to drugs and partying. Yeah. Say no to it.
Right. That's what I wanted to go over. So, now one of the things that I was talking about earlier is layering. So, one thing about layering is that there is an order in the node view. So, whatever's on the right is the bottom, whatever's on the left is the top. So, you want to have... so, I'm just going to draw two things here. I'm going to draw a tongue-colored circle. Oops. So, I'm going to draw a tongue-colored circle on the belly. And fill that in. Huh? Why is it not filling in? Belly. Circle. Fill.
Circle, circle.
What's going on here?
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
No, I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'm just adding color commentary.
Check the drawing.
I'm just here for the memes. Thank you. The glorious, glorious memes.
Huh. I have no idea what's going on here.
Well, I mean, that makes 2 of us, but I never know what's going on.
Well, here's the thing, is I've got this selected. Okay, now it's working. Okay. Okay, so, as I was saying, I'm going to select the belly. I'm going to give it a peg. I'm going to select the front tit. And I'm going to draw something else there in a different color. So that's going to be just black. And so, now, if I select that, you'll notice that it is underneath the belly layer, because it is to the right of it. Now, if I take the anchor point where it connects on the on the composite here, and I move that to the left of it, now the front tit layer is on top of the belly layer because of where it is. So, so we're going to want the belly layer to be on the very bottom, and then we're going to want the back tit, and then the front tit, in that order.
Ataz!
Right? And then this is going to be the, and you know what, I got to grab the belly there, I'm going to delete that, grab the front tit, delete that, because obviously we don't want those there. So, yeah, Neostar says Tatsunoko vs. Capcom addressed the height issue, having exclusive fight animations for short characters and giant-sized characters. That's nice. It's nice to see that some fighting games did that. So anyway, getting back to this, so we got, and I'm not going to be doing a whole lot right now. There's going to be the belly, and then there's the front tit and back tit. And then we're going to add another drawing, and that's going to be the chest. Okay. And that's going to be, oops. That's going to be behind the belly? Or should it be, no.
Well, he's
Yeah.
figuring that out. Okay.
Just
For a second,
is going to be behind the belly. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'll just gotta make some jokes this way, because, like you said, I'm here to fill dead air and be funny. I'm not very funny. I'm really not.
Yeah, so anyway, so chest, going to be behind all that, behind the belly, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a layer here, and that's going to be a deformed sort of like outfit thing to go over top of the breasts, and then there's going to be a deformer, like a mask that will basically expose or remove stuff so that the color of the breast changes with where that's placed. It'll make sense as I go, but that will those will definitely have to be on top of those. So back tit and front tit, those will be behind it. So Control R, we're going to add 2 drawings. I'm going to place them over here. Oh, and if you're wondering, I'm actually clicking and middle mouse button dragging. That's super useful in this node view, because eventually it's going to get very filled out. There's going to be a lot of nodes, a lot of layers, and it's going to make it a lot easier if you can just like select stuff, middle mouse button drag to take it where you want to go, because you're going to want to go out further to kind of like quickly drag it to where you need it. Because sometimes when you enter, like when you add a new layer, kind of like it'll like appear at the same spot in the node view all the time, and then you have to like go get it and then drag it to where you actually need it, and it's a whole
becomes troublesome at times.
Yeah, it's just like tedious and annoying. I don't know if that's going to be the case when you're doing the Control R. I'm new to using the Control R. I'm used to just using the button. That might be something that only happens when you use the button on the timeline, because like since you're not in the node view, it doesn't know where you are in the node view while you're in the timeline. Because you notice, like, I don't know if you can see this, but when you're hovering over things, it'll kind of like have that section selected. There's a little red outline it's really thin red outline that kind of shows up over top.
I think I've seen it. Yeah. I just have to wait because I'm having to see it on the actual streams, and it takes a couple seconds.
Yeah, I know
get
the stream
back
is
up.
like a little bit behind, but yeah. So there's that. So that's a thing. So maybe actually, you know what? I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna go way the hell over here, zoom right in, and I'm gonna press Control R, add and close. Oh yeah, no. Looks like that is just a timeline thing. So that's gonna save me some time down the road, because now I can just be like, oh, I need this here, so bop, Control R, there it is. So you always gotta want to rename your stuff. So this is going to be back tit mask. Okay, and this is going to be front tit mask.
You know, real quick to touch on chat, Riderman said, imagine seeing a wrestling character pile drive a giant robot mecha, or a short character, or take a short character to Suplex City. And what's sad is one of the few wrestling events I've actually seen is that Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns fight where he was literally like, Suplex City, man.
I don't know that reference.
Yeah, okay, it was like, I think it was like 2014, I think it was. 2013, 2014, WrestleMania, Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar was up for the championship and everything, and Brock Lesnar was basically just kept on suplexing Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know wrestling, man. I used to watch it back when I was like early in high school, but I haven't seen it since.
Only reason why I know it, I have friends who are into wrestling, and they invited me over to watch wrestling that day and everything because they were getting pizza and whatnot. And it was going to be a big ordeal. And yeah, the fine irony, I'm the only one amongst my friends who doesn't get into wrestling.
Mm. Yeah, I used to be into it, but it was more to like actually do the wrestling. Like me and my friend used to just like wrestling with each other. We'd be out in the front yard, just like suplexing each other into the grass and coming up with our own like special like signature moves and stuff like that. It was fun. I'm not big on like watching sports, even stuff that I know is like fake and just for shits and giggles like wrestling. But like I always preferred to like actually do them over watching.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way, bro. I'm
That's
the same
just
way.
me. No shade on anybody that does like watching them. You know, each their own. But
Exactly.
I'm fidgety.
Exactly.
I'm a doer. I'm not a watcher. I'm a doer. I gotta do it.
Okay. Let me put it to you like this. So you heard how I'm now a devout Catholic, right?
Who's a devout
Catholic? I am.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going through RCIA, Rite of Christian Initiation for Adults. And this is how bad of a fidgeter I am. I make rosaries during RCIA classes because if I'm not doing anything, I can't focus.
Speaking of focus, here's another thing. I'm terrible at focusing too. Like I'm always like back and forth between things. So hopefully this isn't too confusing of a stream for the animation stuff. Hopefully I'm explaining things good enough. But here's another thing. We got another line here.
Well, hold up. Real quick, folks. If for those who watch later, don't be afraid to post a comment asking Josh questions after the fact. I'm sure he would probably be more than likely to be like, oh yeah, this is what I had to do this and this and this. If he did something that y'all missed, I think that's a good way of putting it.
If you want to ask questions in the chat, if there's something you want me to focus in on, or you want to hit me up on Twitter later on and ask me some questions, like I don't mind answering at all. I'm happy to help. I like doing this stuff. I like helping people out. And also, like, if you join the MANimations Inc. Patreon, patreon.com/MANimationsinc, like that's MANIMATIONSINC. Then you can get into our Discord as well, and I can even give you like personal like tips, tricks, and like tutoring as well. I'll do that for the patrons. I'll answer questions here and there on the Twitters and anytime you want to ask me something over during the streams here as I'm doing stuff, happy to do that. But if you really want to get like deep into stuff with me, then I'm happy to do it for patrons. that's our little special
pay him. The meme of the dude on the old picture of the dude on the table that's pointing at his open hand. That's you right now. You want to learn how to animate?
Well, yeah. Let me just pull it up. MANimations Inc. So here's the Patreon. If you want to check that out, right? We got a couple tiers. You can give as much or as little as you want, and all of the tiers will still. Will still get you access to the. Where are the tiers?
Hold up, Josh.
Huh?
Did you piss off some SJWs?
Why?
Like somewhere along the way? Because somebody actually gave your video a dislike. And we know there's none that would have earned a dislike. So that means...
I think I know who it is. There's this one guy who's who really hates Fresher Luke, the guy who does the comic book Forsaken Gods. He's doing an indie comic called Forsaken Gods, and he's had me on his stream a couple times, and I've streamed with him and Mark Pellegrini on the Bunderdome there for animation talks. And this guy just hates Fresher Luke so much that he basically like hates anybody that's also associated with him. So he'll stalk and he'll dislike every video that I do or every video that Mark and Tim do just because they are friendly with Fresher Luke. So he just like goes around like slandering us, and he's even made videos like talking shit about us and making up a bunch of bullshit lies and whatnot. He's just a pathetic, impotent loser that just has nothing better to do with his life than stalk about a couple of nobodies on Twitter because they said mean things about his holy Steven universe or whatever. I don't know.
Dude, and may I say, I actually feel bad for people like that
So
because
do I. So do I. It's pathetic, and
it's not. It's not just. It's not. It's sad because
pity
it's
'em.
people who have been who have. I guess you could say that all they have left is their anger, and they don't understand that anger is poison.
Oh, I had to click on view public page. No, but it's true. Like it is poison. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of tiers on the. Fresher Luke's just a guy I know who's also in the animation industry. He did like storyboards and stuff for Gravity Falls and whatnot. He worked on Steven Universe and a couple of the other whatnot. Mr. Free Advertising kind of hater. Yeah, you're right, Humble Marty. He's one of those. But honestly,
Can I get one of those, please?
For the most part, I just ignore him. Like it's just purely impotent rage. It's not worth anybody's attention really or time. I just report and remove whatever comments he leaves and go on about my business. But if just because he brought it up, like that's the case. That's probably who it is that's disliking the video. He does that the moment we have a new video up on MANimations or on Science Wizard. He always downvotes it or dislikes it or whatever. But
can I get one of those hate what did Marty call it again? Hate advertiser?
A hate advertiser. They hate you so
I can
much
use one
that
of
they
them.
advertise for you.
Yep,
But,
pretty much.
but yeah, so check out the Discord. Here's the Discord. We got like a couple, like several different tiers. We got the bouncing baby boy for $1. We got the allergic to soy for $5. The high teen for $10. Now you're a man for $20. Testosterrific for $40. Beast mode for $60. And ultra all caps lumberjack in all caps for $100. I mean, that's like, if you're just like, we need to get rid of the SJW invasion in animation, we need to fund MANimations. That's like,
the soy
if you're just
out.
like, we need
If
to
you're really
get rid of
gung-ho,
the
go for
SJW
$100,
invasion in
you'll
animation.
get,
We
like,
need to
all-
fund MANimations and get the soy out.
I mean, if you're really that
$1
gung-ho,
here,
go for
$5 there,
$100.
$10, whatever you can afford. If
you'll get,
wanna,
like, all-
help us out,
like some extras
and,
that are really fun.
try to help us
No,
build
but
this
$1
this
here,
empire of
$5
animation
there,
that we
$10,
want to do.
whatever you can
Yeah,
afford
just
if you
do
want
that.
to
Help us out.
Get in there,
Be a Patreon.
Do it! Do it for America!
Animation that we want to do
For America,
do
Canada,
For America!
Be a
everywhere
Patreon that wants animation that doesn't hate them for being born
Right.
for America, for Canada.
But yeah, so we do
For
have a
everywhere
Patreon that wants
So
animation
yeah,
that
if you wanna
doesn't
check it out.
hate them
for
for
being
being so,
born male.
back to this, but yeah,
the
so
folds
we do have a
of the
Patreon up
tits.
now. We're gonna need one of
if you wanna
those.
check it out.
I'd appreciate that.
And
So back to this.
You don't wanna do
The
that
folds
until you've
of
renamed
the
it.
tits.
So
We're
that's
gonna
going to
need
be
one of those.
and
Front.
oh, no,
Boob.
you don't want to do that until
Actually,
you've
no,
renamed it.
tit fold.
So that's going to be
Tit fold.
the
Gotta be consistent with your naming.
boob
Front. Actually, no, we want this to be back. Tit fold.
God, consistency's for losers,
Gotta be
bruh.
consistent with your naming.
God.
No, it's
Who
actually
wants
very important.
consistency?
So if you press, if you select multiple and you press Control Shift P, then you will get. It's actually very important.
Pegs for those.
So
all
if
in
you
one.
press,
If you
if you select
pegs
multiple,
and go Control
and you
P,
press Control
they'll
Shift
all connect to
P,
a single peg.
then you will
right?
get.
So
we're
for
just kind of
those
dealing with
all
the
in
torso.
one.
If you select multiple pegs and go
just
Control
kinda
P,
figuring out how
they'll
that's
all
gonna
connect
work,
to a single
how
peg.
that's gonna
Right?
come together.
So
you
we're
got
just
front
kind of
tit,
dealing with the
back tit,
torso
front
to
tit,
start.
back tit,
Just kind of
front
figuring
fold,
out how that's going to
back
work,
fold,
how that's going to come
belly
together.
and chest.
Now
So you got
these
the
two
front tit,
masks are
back
both going
tit,
to be
front tit,
all
back
the
tit,
way in front,
front fold,
and
back fold,
I'm going to give them their
belly
own
and chest.
composite as well. Now these two masks are both going to be all the way in front
and the back tit,
and I'm going to give them their own composite as well.
The front tit fold will also be in front of the back
And
tit.
there's
So
going
you
to be
gotta
the
move
front
that
tit
over.
and the back tit. Make sure to do it there on the composite
And the
too.
front
So it
tit
stays
fold
in the right
will
area.
also be in front of the back tit. So
Sounds like
move
Josh
that
is
over.
talking over himself.
Huh?
Oh, you know what,
There on
Neostar? What it
composite
might
too,
be
so it
is
stays
it's
in
just
the right
that
area.
my room isn't really
Sounds like Josh is
set up
talking over
for
himself.
the audio
very well.
Oh, you know
so
what,
it's
Neostar? What
a
it
lot
might
of flat,
be is it's just
you
that
know,
my
hard
room
walls,
isn't really
not a whole lot of
set
soft
up
stuff to
for
absorb
the audio.
the audio
very
like,
well,
the
so
sound
it's
vibrations.
a lot of flat,
So there's a lot of
you know,
bouncing,
hard
reflecting.
walls. I gotta
Not
get
a
some
whole
of
lot of
those
soft
stuff to absorb
those
the
little
audio,
egg
like
carton
the sound
foam
vibrations
things to
to
put on
put
the
Yes,
walls,
I know what
bouncing,
you're talking about.
reflecting.
Like
I gotta
just
get
literally
some
just
of
a
those,
what they the like
those little
2-3
egg
dozen in
carton
one
foam
container.
things to put up on the walls.
Yeah, I need a lot of those for the room to properly do the
Yeah.
streaming.
Wait a second. This is a wait. Wasn't your computer?
Yeah, I need
In
lot
a
of those,
different
for the
location?
room, to
No,
properly
because I
do
don't-
the
My
streaming.
computer's been in the
Uh,
same location for a long time.
I could have swore it was more in the corner, and you were getting you saw the
No,
bed from a
no.
different angle.
My computer's been in the same location for a long time.
Same place it's always been. So next up, I'm just kind of separating things out with composites. So I want like
Same place
front
it's always
tit
been.
going into one composite.
So
back tit
next
going
up,
into one
I'm
composite.
just kind of separating things out
and
with
then I want
composites.
so I want like
and I'm just
front
copying
tit
and
going into
pasting
one composite, back tit going into one composite,
and then I want the belly and
and
the
then
chest
I want the
go into another composite.
because they're all kind
And
of
I'm
just
just
copying
copying
and pasting for the composite
Chunks
that make
and
up
then I want the
this
belly
torso.
and the chest.
Chunky.
Composite. She's got all kinds of
These are all kinda, like,
chunks.
separate
She makes me blow chunks.
chunks that make up this torso. Right? Let me see here. And then
She's
this is
got
gonna
all
be
kinds of
the
chunks. She makes me blow chunks.
torso.
Master.
Let me see.
And then
here.
dash
And then this
P
is
for
going to
peg.
be the and if you
Torso.
just press Control P, when you make a new peg,
and then
it always
dash
adds
P
a
for
dash
peg.
P to it.
So,
And if you
just
just
to
press
keep it
Control
consistent,
P, so that if you ever select something from
you
the
know,
timeline, when you make a new peg,
that
it
you're
always
selecting
adds
the
a
peg
dash P
as
to
opposed
it.
to,
So
drawing.
just to keep it consistent,
wanna be working
so
on
that
the
if you
peg.
ever select something from the
Alright,
timeline,
then.
you know that you're selecting the peg.
So
As
this
opposed
is
to
basic
I guess you could
our
say it's
torso.
you always want to be.
I guess you could say it's kind of peggy.
Alrighty then.
it's a bit peggy.
So this is
So I'm gonna
basically
go
our
R.
torso.
I'm gonna add 2 more drawings.
It's a
Those
bit
up
peggy.
here. It's just a bit peggy. So I'm gonna go Control R. I'm gonna add
only got
2
one.
more drawings.
Looks like I only got one drawing.
Those
Okay.
up here. Control R.
Oops.
Add and close.
Did I get 2
There.
drawings?
Now I got 2. So
I only get one.
I want
Looks
to
like I
also
only got one
have
drawing. Okay.
traps. Control R
R.
that I can move.
Add and close.
So there's this
Now I
line
got two.
here. So
That's kind of her
I
trapezius.
want to
and then that's
also
her
have
shoulder.
traps. So we want to have
that I can
a
move.
trap. So there's
And
this
and
line
the
here.
shoulder.
We
That's
wanna
kind of
have
her
that separation.
trapezius.
I mean, there's
and
you
then
don't really
that's her
see that separation
shoulder.
here.
So
But
we want
it's
to
good to have it. A trap.
because we have to remember we're
And
going
a
to be
shoulder.
animating, so her arm's
We
going
wanna
to
have
move.
that separation.
That might,
I mean,
like,
there's-
depending
you
on
don't
how
really see that
much she's
separation
swinging
here,
there, that
but
might
it's
reveal
good
the
to
trap
have it
underneath. Because we have to remember
similar
we're going
to
to
how
be
it is
animating,
on
so
the
her
other arm.
arm's going to move. That
Alright.
might, like, depending on how much she's swinging there,
And
might
yes,
reveal
Neostar,
the
it's
trap
just a hard
underneath.
echo.
Similar to how it is
Eventually,
on the other
once
arm.
I
have some money,
Alright.
you know,
And yes,
I'm gonna
Neostar,
buy
it's
some
just
of
a
those
hard
things
echo.
to kind of
Uh,
soundproof the room a
eventually,
little better.
once I have some
so
money,
there's less echo going into things. You know,
Heck, I'll
plus
heck,
I also need
buy
to get
some of those things
curtains
kind of
for the
soundproof
window
the
there
room a little
That's
better.
another thing.
So
like
there's less
window
echo,
panes and stuff.
going
Those
into things.
tend to. Plus, I also need to
create
get
a lot of,
curtains for the window there, because that's another thing. Is
they reflect
window
a lot of
panes and
sound
stuff.
vibrations, too.
Those tend to
Sound waves.
create a lot of. All right, so this is going to be. They reflect a lot of sound vibrations too. Sound waves. Front. All right, so this is going to be back front. So notice, like, we haven't even started drawing yet. We're just figuring out like what the layers we need are. Going to be, you know, back trap. So notice, like, we haven't even started drawing yet. We're
Right.
just
Rigging,
figuring out like
when it comes to rigging,
what the layers we need
rigging
are.
is the
longest part of it. And it's the most technical part of it.
This stuff.
It's the part that you really have to get.
When
right.
it comes to rig animation,
So here's the other
rigging
thing.
is the
Longest
longest
part
part.
of it. And
Another
it's the most
peg
technical
attached
part
to
of it.
these.
This is the part that you really have to get right. So here's the other thing. I'm gonna have another peg
that's gonna go
attached to
into the
these.
torso
This is
master.
going to be
So,
the trap. They don't go in separately.
master
That way I
peg.
can kind of do both traps together, or I can do them
that's gonna
separately.
go into the torso
Right?
master.
So,
So,
together. Trap master. They don't go in separately. That way I can
Simple
kind of do
traps.
both traps together,
all I gotta say
or I
is,
can do them separately.
gotta make sure they fall for your trap card.
Together. Trap master. Not that kind of trap. Simple traps. But I appreciate the joke. I know I'm kind of in work mode, so I'm not super. Not that kind of trap. But
Like I said, that's what you got me for, bro. That's what you got me for.
I know I'm kind of.
I may not be the funniest, but I'll try.
So let's see. We got front tit mask, and I'm also gonna want a master for that as well, so I can move those together. So don't want to just be moving them tit mask independently, and I'm also gonna want a master for that as well, so I can move those together. Don't want to just be moving them independently. Master. So that is going to be a tit master peg mask, and then we're going to have P. Front tit fold, tit master peg. Those are not going to be pegged together. We're going to have, because you don't want the fold moving with front tit. The tit, tit's going to move on its own. Those are not. These are going to be some gross floppy tits. Ugh. So I don't want the fold moving with. But we are going to have tits going to move on its own. Tit mask. These are going to be some gross floppy tits. Ugh. Both tits. Oh wait, no. But did that wrong. It's just we are going to have back tit. Right? Tit master. Tit folds are going to be separate. They're going to be all on their own. Oh wait, no, did that wrong. We don't want them moving with the tits and back tit. They're just under the tits, so they will have their own tit folds. They're going to be separate. Follow the tits all on their own when they move, and they're definitely going to be moving. They're going to be jiggling.
So what you want them to be kind of like Toot and drawn together when she does the Joker. She lifts up her shirt and does the 1930s too, where she's flapping, flapping her titties are flapping. You know the joke I'm talking about, because Troy loves drawn together too.
Oh, drawn together. Oh yeah, that's great. Ugh. That's also nasty though. they really made her as disgusting. Oh, drawn together. Oh, possible. Yeah. That's great.
Hey, let's be honest. They may have done that, but at the same time, it was hilarious.
Yes, it was good stuff. So that's basically the setup for our torso, including the tits. Yes, it was good stuff. So that's now, basically what we need to do is set up drawing it. I'm not going to do the face, our torso. I'm not going to do the arms yet. I'm going to do the tits after the fact. Just going to do the torso to start. Now, make sure that works. Is start drawing it. I'm not going to do the face, and I think what I'm going to do yet is after the torso. I'm going to move on. Just going to do the torso to start. That's going to be the longest and most complicated part. Then move on. The head tends to be on all after the torso. The most complicated part. I'm going to move on to the head. Has the most moving parts, the most complicated part. The head tends to be kind of attention to detail into it, because that's where all of your emoting is coming from. Has the most moving parts, the most like that's where like a good chunk of the you have to put the most kind of attention and detail into it because that's where all of your emoting is coming from. You want to make sure that that is like very. That's where like a good chunk of the. What's the word I'm looking for? It's very well done. Is going to be.
It's very emotive.
Sure that is
and it
very be able to what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's very well done. Like you just want to make sure that. Yes, you want to be able to you know.
I like that.
There's another thing I forgot.
Neostar's like, it's been years since I've seen Tron together. Yeah. Let's just say certain people who were on that show, they're strong. Excuse me. Wish that they could, you know, scrub that show from existence for their cult, but yeah.
Okay, so
Still funny.
I just looked up what the inside corner part of your eye is. What it's called. And,
okay, so tear duct?
I just looked
area?
up the inside corner part of your eye is caruncle. What it's called?
Wow. Okay.
The inside corner of the eye is called a lacrimal caruncle. Okay, I'm not going to call it that. Lacrimal caruncle. What should I call it? I think I'll just call it like tear duct. I'm not going to call it. It's not actually the tear duct. It's like right.
But the tear duct is in that area.
Yeah. I think that. What should I call it? I think I'll just call it like the tear duct. Let's go. It's not actually the tear duct, but it's like right above the tear duct. Yeah, right above the. I think that makes sense. Let's go pupil.
Man, I forgot how good of a game this actually is.
What game are you playing?
I'm still playing Dark Sector.
Okay.
Well, I say that specifically because of the fact that this is one of those games. Like I said, it's so not winning like Game of the Year or anything like that, but it was a solid game. But like I said, it really was like, if you look at the reviews at the time, they were all just kind of meh. It was just a bland game. Well, I mean, may have been a bit of a quote unquote bland game, but it was fun. It was mindless fun. You just run around, shooting Russians and well, being a badass. I have a grenade, yay! Try not to sneeze. Cause I'm a sneeze bastard. Sad thing is I've already taken a Zyrtec. I was like, come on, man. Come on, man.
What's a Zyrtec?
Allergy pill.
Oh, okay.
Or allergy meds, whatever. Yeah, dude, I got like bad allergies and whatnot. It's ridiculous.
What's a Zyrtec?
Like back in the 90s, when I found out that I had allergies, I would mow the yard and literally come back in looking like a human chihuahua. Eyes all bugging out of my skull. I can't be healthy, man.
Looking like
your eyes, they look like they're about to leave.
Looking like bad.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Looking okay, so now that we've got that already, looking like Badger Bitch, we are basically ready to do our Badger Bitch. Now, I'm wondering if I should make now that we've got that already, as lumpy as Troy has it here. We are basically ready to. What do you guys think? Do you guys do our Badger Bitch? Now, chat, what do you guys think? Should I make the lines as lumpy as Troy made them for Badger Bitch? Or should I kind of like smooth those out? Do you guys, for the chat, what do you guys think? Should I make the lines as lumpy as Troy made them for Badger Bitch? She's supposed to be
it should.
Kind of like smooth those
yeah, it should. It should look like the big mounds of cellulite. Just
should sort of be. Yeah. It's supposed to be super gross. Yeah. I think you're right.
Like if you want people to be seeing that and seeing the animation, you want them to throw up a little in their mouth.
Right.
Some cultures eat nothing but vomit. True story.
Well, the chat's still kind of catching up to us, so I'm gonna wait for their input as well. What do you guys think? Clean, smooth lines
well,
for the
chat's
animation,
still
or should I
catching
keep it,
up to
super
us,
monkey
so
like it is? I'm gonna wait for their input as well. What do you guys think? Clean, smooth lines.
I think it should be
or
lumpy.
should I keep it like super lumpy like it is in the?
I think it should be lumpy.
in the panel.
I think
Neil Star says sure.
I think it should be.
So we got one vote.
It's pretty much unanimous at this point that
I
it should
think
be
it should be
lumpy
lumpy.
and gross. So let's go with it. Let's go with it. So for the big old
Okay.
belly.
I think it's pretty much unanimous at this point
that it should be
L
lumpy
here.
and
There's
gross.
a little sidebar.
Let's go
here.
with it. Let's go with it.
And
so
it's got
for the
4
big
different
old
layers.
belly. So
Oh.
each drawing, and I'm gonna make sure
has
I'm on
4
the
layers,
L
right?
here.
There's
the
a
overlay
little
layer,
sidebar here.
the line layer, the
And
color
it's got
layer,
4
and the
different
underlay
layers.
Now the
So
ones that
each
we're gonna be using
drawing
the most
has
are the
4
lines,
layers,
right?
and the color layer.
There's the overlay
The
layer.
line is where you put your
the line
lines,
layer,
the
the
color
color
layer
layer,
you put your
and
colors.
the underlay layer.
Pretty simple.
Now, the
Humble,
ones that we're gonna be using
Humble
the
Marty
most
says,
are the
floppy
line
chunky
and
monkey,
the color
yes.
layer.
Floppy
The line
chunky
is where you
monkey,
put your
yes.
lines.
I
The
love
colors
it.
where you put your colors.
Thank you.
Pretty
Humble Marty.
simple. So I think it is 100% unanimous. We're going
Floppy
lumpy on
chunky
this
monkey,
bitch.
yes.
So
Yes,
Love
sir.
it.
I'm gonna get into the
Thank you,
belly.
Humble Marty.
So
Get my
I
line
think it
color
is
on the
100%
line layer.
unanimous. We're going
And
lumpy
a
on this
circle.
bitch.
Now
So,
I'm gonna make a big
I'm
old
gonna
belly.
get into the
Now
belly.
that line was definitely
Get my
too
line
small,
color
so I'm gonna go into
on
the
the
tool
line
properties,
and
and
I'm
I'm
gonna
double
get my
that.
circle.
See how
Now I'm
good
gonna
that
make a
is.
big old belly.
Now that line is definitely too small. So I'm gonna go into the tool
too small,
properties.
maybe go
I'm
12.
gonna double that. See how
width.
good that is.
There we go.
I think that's probably that's good.
Still a little too small. Maybe go
So
12.
I'm gonna move that
The line width.
in here.
There we go.
I think that's probably
Mm-mm-mm.
that's a little bit lower right there.
So,
and then I'm gonna
move
start
that.
making it in here.
Gross.
So I'm gonna put that there. Go a little bit lower.
And while you're doing that, I want to brag a bit more about my one of my other
Gross. So I'm gonna get that
acquisition that
there.
I got today.
What's that?
The Locutus
It's a
action
Locutus.
figure.
Oh, an action figure. Okay.
Locutus of Borg.
Oh, it's Star Trek. Gotcha.
Yes.
Man, I haven't watched Star Trek in forever.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, there's a shop here in town. I saw that and I was just like, I tried to walk away from it, man. I tried. Like next time I go in there, they also have an Admiral Riker
Huh?
from the All Good Things two-parter. You know, the series finale.
Oh no, I'm
I'm
not
like, ah.
I'm not super well versed in Star Trek, but yeah, I liked it. I liked it back when it was like good. I mean, now it
Yeah.
sucks because they got that. Have you seen that the new one, Star Trek Discovery?
Okay, I knew that Star Trek Discovery was going to be steaming hot garbage the minute they were pushing identity politics in
Of
the
course.
like advertising, the interviews about it, and everything going on. You know, put in the build up to the first episode airing. And like I was arguing with people in this one group. I'm gonna be nice about it. It was basically meant to be a black nerd group, all right, that I was invited to, and I was like, "Do you morons not understand? Do any of you like Star Trek? Do any of you watch Star Trek? The whole point of Star Trek was we had gotten past this.
Mhm.
This is not Star Trek." And then I watch, oh. Riderman makes me sad, or Neil Star makes me sad. You don't watch Star Trek at all. But anyway, basically like then Picard, man, I made it 5 minutes into the first episode of Picard, and the minute they tried black bagging somebody right there on screen, I was like, nope, this isn't Star Trek. They wouldn't do that in Star Trek.
Mhm.
They had mentioned it happening off screen, but they would not show it.
Yeah. So anyway, oh, Sadie Bella's here. I haven't seen her in a while. Hello, Sadie. Welcome to the chat.
Oh.
I am teaching people how
Welcome.
to animate. But yeah, I'm
I
not
hope
super
you
well
enjoy
versed.
your time here.
So what I've done here is I've grabbed this, the pencil editor tool. So I used a pencil line, and I'm just gonna kind of like, grab a few points along the way here, along the way up here, mostly where it's going to be visible. So down to about here, just a smattering of little spots. I'm pressing Control and clicking along this line using the pencil editor, and just getting a good bit of that.
Now I'm just pressing, and then I'm keeping it smooth on the inside, because that's kind of how it is with Badger Bitch. It's still kind of smooth, but just like so. It's not exactly the same as it's gonna be. Whereas this is kind of like a wobbly line. Actually, you know, maybe I should do that. No, that would be difficult.
What you could do is do the first layer, or do like you're doing regular drawing, you know, do a layer to get the initial line there, and then go over it on another layer with the actual, to get the lumpiness along where you want it. Like, this is just a layer for you to build on for the time being, or a line for you to build upon.
This is what I was thinking, is doing it kind of like this, whereas the white line width is actually what kind of is lumpy and sort of...
Oh yeah, dude, that makes way more... If that's easier, then I'm going to shut up, because you know what you're doing and I don't.
But yeah, so all I'm doing is I'm holding control, or was it shift? Yeah, holding shift and grabbing some of these points that I've made, every other one, and just kind of giving them a little bit of a fattening up, just to kind of get that lumpiness. So it's not like... So I'm not doing too many points on it, on the actual thing. So I've got relatively few points, and you do want it to kind of like use as little points as possible when you're making these shapes, so that it's not, because the more points there are, that's the more information that it has, like the program has to read to like.
Gotcha.
Get everything going.
Which explains the whole CalArt style and things like that. And wasn't there some topics you were wanting to talk about while we're doing this?
Yeah, we'll just kind of let them come naturally. We'll get
not a problem. Well, it's one of the... Anyway, it is coming naturally because you explained why CalArt style is a thing. Right there.
Did I? I mean, not really, because the CalArts thing is more out of like laziness, and there being a lot of people in the industry who just can't draw.
Don't make fun of me.
No, I'm just...
I resemble that remark.
And you know what? Sadie Bella says she's still rocking her Juanpool AVI. AVI? AVI?
Yes.
I'm not sure how to properly pronounce that. But
I've always said AVI.
That's her Juanification. She was one of the many Juanpooligans who got the special limited commissions that I was doing during the Juanpool campaign. She became Juanum. Sort of like a Juanpool Venom lady. So
nice!
I thought that was pretty cool.
See, that's gangster.
So here we go. We got our belly line now. And now I'm just going to grab the paint bucket, the outfit main color, and boop, fill it in. And then I'm going to click using the black selection tool. And I'm just going to Control X and then Control Paste on the color layer. So now it's all on its proper layers. So there's the belly. Now, one thing I forgot to do that we're going to need is we're also going to need the shading layers for the belly and for both of the tits. Those nasty ass floppy tits. So I'm gonna...
No, not floppy, not fluffy. Floopy. Because they're...
Droopy,
yes,
nasty.
because you have floppy, like floppy's bad, but meh. Alright, then you have floopy. Floopy is that next level where you just kind of...
So yeah, once again, I'm adding a new drawing, and this is going to be for the belly, so it's right in front of the belly, and it's going to go, let's call it belly hatching. Belly hatching. Oops. Control P, and then what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to actually connect that underneath the belly, so that when I select the belly, it's also going to select the belly hatching group. So they're always going to be selected together. Floopy. So, yeah. So there's the belly hatching. And then front tit, back tit mask. Okay, so Now we're going to need in front of the front tit. We're going to need
Ata?
another layer. And that's
And
going to be front tit hatching.
I need to get more Bob Jones fuel.
Alright, go get your fuel, Bob.
Ugh.
And also, Sadie and Humble Marty, I don't know if you saw this earlier. If you, I'm not sure exactly when you guys came into the chat, but I'm going to get back to here and I'm going to show you the wonderful Bob Jones animation that I did for our good buddy Bob Jones here for his channel.
Awesome as can be.
That's my most recent animation. Originally, I just made like a little pose of him, like lifting up his fists for Bob, so that he could just have like a little thumbnail for his videos when he does the Comic Wars comic reviews. But then I was just having so much fun with it, and it's just such a great style made by Jeremy Fine. He's the one that does the MANimations style for a lot of our rigs. When I'm not, directly copying like the, particular styles or like in the comics, the comic panels, like what I'm doing today. So yeah, I was having so much fun. I had so much fun making the pose. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a like little looping GIF. So that's what I did most recently.
I was happy to have it.
Yeah, and then before that, I just did
What
the
the
Juanpool.
fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Well, what I
What
like
the
about
fuck?
it is I could sit there and say,
What
there's
the fuck?
all the different versions
What
of
the
Bob
fuck?
Jones, whether they're closer to Alex Jones or closer to what I look like, because, Beth Varney of the artist for Mythoverse made me look real good. I was like, hey, I'll take it. I look a lot better than normal here.
Oh yeah, you're in the second issue, I think, of
Yes, I am.
Of Mythics.
Yep. As not Mythoverse, but Mythics. Yeah, you're right. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
I need more coffee. What can I say?
Yeah, I've read all the Mythoverse stuff.
Because
I haven't read any of the second issues. I've only read the first issues, but yeah. Adobe Kroger is definitely my favorite of the bunch of the three.
Well, because Adobe Kroger it really does like channel that like 90s comic feel where you read the comic and you feel like it would fit right at home with 90s Marvel.
Well, even more than that, I think it would feel at home with a lot of manga that's out there. Just like it's just got some really solid. Actually, now we're going to need a front tit master peg because we've got the hatching, and that does need to follow the tit. So we're gonna give a back tit master peg, back tit master dash P. There we go, and then we're gonna give a front tit, and I'm pressing Control P to add a peg. And pegs are where we put our animation information, remember. Specifically for the new folks, Sadie, that just dropped in. If you're following along, if you're getting an idea of the animation process that we're going through here. So this is the front, oh my god, what do I spell? Front, tit, master P.
Yes, I see you staring at me with disgust. Uh-huh.
Who's staring at you?
My cat.
Yes. Oh.
My cat.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, dude, I like cats, I like dogs, I like all animals. Like, I would say I'd end up instead of the crazy cat lady, I'd be the crazy cat guy, but it wouldn't be just cats. I'd be the crazy animal guy. Like, you don't really need any more strays, but they were cold outside.
As Bob Jones, you get to just be the crazy guy.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Oh, here's another thing. When you're in the node view here, and if you select something and you press D, it'll disable it, and then A enables it. So it basically, like, if you need to just kind of like make something disappear so you can see something, like the sketch underneath that we're working off of, just press D, it's gone. If you want to bring it back, press A, and it's back. So that's a handy little
I'm back,
shortcut.
baby!
That's right. So now
let's see here. I guess next I'll do the hatching for the belly. And this is actually a great time to do this because then I can kind of go over another important aspect that we'll be using a lot of. And this is pretty cool. This is one of the reasons why I really, really, really love Toon Boom Harmony for doing rigs. I used to do Flash, and it was awful. It was a complete pain in the ass. So I'm just using Control and Alt to kind of select and move the handles here for the pencil tool.
And may I ask, since you're bringing it up and everything,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
for people like I tried learning how to animate with Flash back in like 2006, and it just was not happening. Like, how long did when you used Flash? How much, like, just straight time did it take you to finally get to where you could do it?
Well, I basically gave up before I ever got to that point because I hated
Oh,
Flash
wow.
so much. But also, like, in school, we kind of learned Flash, and then we also learned Toon Boom at the same time. And Toon Boom was just so much better. I was just like, no.
So it's the Drake meme, the top one Flash, Toon Boom.
It's exactly that. It is exactly that. Because it's
Yes, I speak the language of the memes.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this goes all the way down. So I just want to make sure that my start and end points are the same. And then I'll line them up here. Oh, and also another thing, I'm going to X that and make sure I'm on the line level. We want to be on the line level for lines, color level for colors. And that's these bad boys over here on the side. So I'm going to do...
See, that's fucking... You lost me. I'm trying to follow along, but I'm like, I'm, you know.
Well, it'd be easier to follow along if you actually had Toon Boom and
Yeah.
do that. I'm gonna be getting Jeremy on Toon Boom and teaching him a few things. So, because if both,
But I thought Jeremy already knew how to animate.
He doesn't use Toon Boom. He actually uses Adobe After Effects. And I assume he's also using Clip Studio Paint to build his stuff. So that's the programs that he kind of is used to where he works, and yeah, so that's what he goes with. So now I'm just gonna grab this. I'm gonna make sure the line weight is down a little bit. We want it to be fairly thin for these hatching. I'm gonna try to match up that line width in the drawing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna copy and paste this a lot.
You have a good night, Sadie.
Oh yeah, thanks for stopping by, Sadie. Hope you learned something. Neostar, what do we know about this Riserman weirdo anyway? This blue-shelled lunatic just shows up out of nowhere talking about shiny stars and standing before things. He's a menace, I tell you. I wish
Okay, all right. Since I know what he's trying to... All right,
He's
fine.
trying to get you to do a Bob Jones.
What do we know about this Riserman weirdo anyway? This blue-shelled lunatic just shows up out of nowhere talking about shining stars and standing before things. He's a menace, I tell you. A menace.
There you go. You got your wish, Neostar. City Bell, I hope this is still up tomorrow. I'm needing to get to sleep. I love watching this sort of content. Thanks, Josh. Night, everyone. Good night, Sadie. Yes, it will be up tomorrow. It's same thing as all the streams. You know, it'll be, going. It'll finish rendering or whatever they do with the YouTube side of things, and then it'll be available forever on our YouTube channel.
Forever.
So yeah, I'm just grabbing that. I'm gonna copy it, and then and then paste it. Yeah, there we go. And then that's just gonna kind of go in here.
I'm just gonna adjust it. Then we've got a second line. So these hatching areas are a bit tedious.
You know what I find funny?
What's that?
Last night on Meeting of the Minds, Chuck and I were actually talking about the old cartoons and everything, and then you're like, "Yeah, let's do some. I want to start doing animation streams and teaching people how to animate. I need someone to balance me out, so, so I don't just zone out into nowhere."
What Chuck was saying that he wants to do animation streams?
No. We were talking Batman the Animated Series and everything yesterday, because of my I don't know if you saw my recent videos on the subject.
No, I haven't. Sorry.
I'm not worried about it. But it's one of those. But I pretty much talked about how like Batman the Animated Series is required watching for anyone wanting to do Batman, and if you are working on Superman, really you should watch the entirety of Superman the Animated Series as well, because of there's a lot you can learn from the way Bruce Timm did those cartoons. So
no, they were excellent cartoons. No doubt about that.
Well, it's why I tell people, when you let fans just do their thing, fans will always do a better job than
than Hollywood. Hollywood cares about nothing. Everything they're putting out lately is just like a soulless shell of its former, like the former glory of whatever they're adapting. It's just bad, man.
Well, and to be fair, it's why everyone's been clamoring for the Schneider cut this whole time, because of the fact that Zack Schneider, say what you will about him, the man's a fan of comics. He really is, and you could tell in the way he makes his comic book adaptations. He tries to get them as on point as possible. Same with Robert Rodriguez. Like,
I mean,
he's also a big comic book fan.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what to think about the Snyder Cut, because I liked Justice League, the regular cut. Like, it's terrible, but enjoyable.
It's good at the same time.
It's an enjoyable mess.
Yes. Yes. There's things where you can tell Joss Whedon, put his ideology in. You just kind of roll your eyes, but it was still awesome to finally have a Justice League live action movie.
Mostly, I just still hate Ezra Miller. He's just
gotta make two of us, bro.
Like, you had the perfect Flash in Grant Gustin. And they went with Ezra Miller, and he was just like, why did they make him autistic?
Why did they make him? Not just that. Why did they allow somebody who doesn't understand comic book fans? Like, he ran his mouth too many times, and I feel as a lifelong fan, I just feel like he just constantly slaps the fans in the face because he knows Warner Brother won't do anything about it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Or will they? Because I don't know. Like, Ray Fisher was running his mouth, and
no. The difference is Ray Fisher was complaining about Joss Whedon's treatment of him on the set and the way Joss Whedon acted and so on and so forth.
Oh, okay. Which, I mean, like, now, like, basically the entire cast of Buffy is just like, oh yeah, Joss Whedon's a piece of crap. Fuck that guy.
And it's like, I feel like they axed Ray Fisher to, because of that, and now they look like...
You think it was to save face?
It was to save face. It was surely to save face, and now it blew up in their face because now all these accusations are coming out to be true, and it's like you could have taken this seriously. Yeah, and we fired that guy for complaining about it. Yeah. We look like the bad guys now.
It's a bad look, but mind you, like, a lot of what Ray Fisher has been saying has been like I just, because of what he was saying, I just assumed he was one of those like people who were like, clout chasing and kind of like, like fishing for, like, trying to, like, bully his way into, like, better pay or, like, more screen time or something like that, because, like, you get that so much lately.
Oh, yeah.
So much,
but,
like, especially
dude,
with, like, what he was saying and how. It's just like,
anytime I hear that kind of rhetoric, I'm just like, oh yeah, they're trying to bully their way into higher paycheck or like more speaking roles or screen time or whatever.
Yeah, which is funny because I had the opposite. Because something about Joss Whedon always struck me as like, this dude's just okay. This is partly because people always say I'm creepy and this, that, and the other, and I give people enough settling. I'm like, there are way creepier guys out there. I just got, I don't know, why does everyone think I'm creepy? Look at Joss Whedon. That dude has been creepy since the 90s. And you guys worship that dude.
That's true. But yeah, he's just, male feminist. That's how it goes. It's just a matter of time until the skeletons are revealed in their closet. And it looks like it's Joss Whedon's time. Restart the clock.
Reset the clock. Yep.
Reset the
clock.
clock. That meme exists for a reason. It's because of exactly that.
So how much you want to bet? Like, while married, he had an extramarital affair with Anita Sarkeesian back like 2013, 2012 when that photo was taken.
Was he rolling with Anita Sarkeesian?
There's a picture of him with Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh, well, I don't know, and I don't want to talk about Anita Sarkeesian because I don't want to boost her signal at all.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. Let her die.
Yeah, let her fade into irrelevance. Good riddance.
Yep.
Bad rubbish.
Right. I mean, I'm not even gonna argue with that. It's like good point, bro. Good point. Let me stay in my lane, man. Let me stay in my lane.
It's all good. But yeah, no, it's it's just, I mean, as far as that goes, like, it's just bottom of the barrel, like, lowest of hanging fruits. Okay, there we go. That took a while. Hatching, man. Hatching takes time.
Hey, that's why I just was like, found something to talk about and whatnot. Give you a minute to do what you needed to do.
No, it's good. It's good to have something to talk about when you're doing that super tedious stuff. But this is where it gets exciting. So you notice how the hatching, it goes past the belly, like it's way past the belly. Like, what the hell's going on here? That doesn't look good. That doesn't look like what's on there. So we know that hatching is on the layer. We know the belly's right here. We don't want the hatching to go past the line work. So what we're going to do is we're going to get another node. And this is the lovely thing about all of this, is the nodes, the beautiful, beautiful nodes that you get to play with. So we're going to get a cutter node. And what you do is you place this to go past on the hatching. So what we're going to do, is that's what you want, is we're going to get another node. This is the lovely thing about past the belly. Now, all of this. So you got the mask here. Beautiful, you've got a nodes that you get positive and a reverse. So get a cutter node, right? And I think it's the white dudes. You place this is what's revealed. So you can reveal the hatching, outside, or that's what you want inside to cut. You want to cut all the stuff. If we go to the belly, past the belly, and we just attach it. So you got the mask here. You've got a reverse black positive and a reverse mask cut. Right, so white, and I think it's revealed. The white. So I just double click this, and so you can reveal what's outside. Or now, if you select it, you'll notice that it's actually going to the belly lines as well. And we don't want attach it. What we actually want it is for it to be inside the lines. So remember, there's the line white and the color on a separate layer. So I just also got these other nodes. Bam! This is where it gets cool. Oh, sorry, now, if you select it, you'll notice that it's actually going above the lines as well. And that's a we don't want art isolated. What we actually want is for it to be inside the lines. So remember, there's the line and the color on a separate layer. So we also got these other nodes. This is where it gets cool. Oh, sorry, not what we do is we take color, and we have the color layer. And that's a color art that creates another problem. So notice that it stops and then we want in between the line. And that's because line art isolate. When you select the line here, there's a center line. And that's basically the color. Here's a node, there is a node. Color layer. Everywhere a node. But then that creates another problem. But the center line is basically what. And that's because it's kind of like the pen tool. When you select, that is the line here where it follows. That's where
the border is.
That's basically
when
the
you fill with the color.
here's
Here's
a
a
node,
node.
there
There
is
is
a
a
node.
node. Color stops
Everywhere a node
right there.
instead of
Inside
inside the line.
But
like
the
where
center
the
line
goes.
is basically where it stops at the border there.
It's kind of like
So-
the pen tool.
Basically, it
And-
makes it
and
to where
that
you can
is the- where
get a
it
little bit more
falls.
color within,
That's
while at the
where
same
the
time
border is,
make it to
when
where
you
only
fill
one side will
with the
be
color,
lumpy.
that's where it
Does
stops.
that make
So
sense?
The color stops.
Well, basically
right
what it
there.
is that if you move
Instead
the
of
line
inside the line,
like
where the
independently
line
of the
goes,
color, you still
it
have like a
stops
little
at
bit
the
of
border
wiggle
there.
room.
So in here, so like wherever that is, you know,
Gotcha.
You're there's a little bit of wiggle room. Like it's always going to be on top. The line's always going to be on top unless you actually like move things. So I can actually
Wiggle,
say
wiggle,
what it
wiggle,
is is
wiggle,
that
wiggle,
if
wiggle.
you move
So
the
let's
line,
say I put the line art
independently of the
and the
color,
color art.
you still have like a
Mhm.
little bit of wiggle room.
And they're in front.
here, so like
But you
wherever
can actually
that
take the
is,
color art.
If you
know,
say like,
you-
oh,
you-
I actually want the color
there's
art
a little bit
front,
of wiggle room.
right? Like it's always going to
Mhm.
be like
top.
the
You only
line's
want to
always
have
going to be
the
on
little
top
wobble
unless you
on
actually
one
like
side.
move things. So I can actually take and not in the middle. You want it to be.
So let's say I put
that's
the line
something
art
you can do. We're not doing
and the
that,
color
though.
art, right?
That's just an example.
And they're in
What
front.
we are going to do,
But you can actually take
is
the
we're
color
going to
art
cut it. If you say like, oh, I actually want the color art
using
front,
what's
right?
called an
You
auto
say, like
patch.
you only want to have the little
Auto patches
wobble
are
on
really
one
cool.
side.
It basically gives you
And
the
not in the
difference.
middle, you want it to be smooth.
So instead of
that's
like
something
cutting
you
it
can
here,
do. We're not doing
it cuts
that,
it here.
That's just an example.
So it'll
But
basically give you
what we
the
are going
difference
to do
between
is we're going to cut the color and the line
using
so where
what's
they
called an auto
intersect,
patch.
not on the border.
Auto
of the
patches are really
line.
cool. Like it
But
basically gives you
actually
the difference. So
the-
instead of
the
like
border
cutting
of
it here,
it cuts it where the
here.
line meets the color.
so it'll basically
Gotcha.
give you
So
the difference
We
between
take that, the color,
and cut
the line.
that.
So where they
And if we select the
intersect,
hatching,
not on the
Yeah,
border
cut.
of the
now
line.
you see it cuts
like
exactly
but
there.
actually the
And that's what we want.
The,
So
the
now
border
it's perfectly
of the,
cut within that.
where the
And the other
line
thing we
meets
wanna
the
do-
color.
See that line? See that line?
That
You cut. You cut line.
That,
Get out of here.
Cut that line. And if we select the hatching,
so now what we want to do is
now
we
you see
want
it
to
cuts
add
exactly
a,
there.
deformer.
And that's what we want.
So
So
the
now
deformers
it's
are
perfectly
awesome.
cut within that.
And what you want to do
And
is
the
you
other
want to
thing
add
we
a
wanna do-
deformer because sometimes
and it,
you do this create new deformation chain. So you
That's right.
click that guy.
cut
You
that
can't
line.
just go straight into
So
using
now
a
what we wanna
deformer.
do
But
we want
if
to
you use
add
the deformation
a,
chain, you can
deformer.
actually like
So
say
the deformers
if you
are
create
awesome,
a new drawing,
and
on that
what
what
you
you want to
layer.
do is you want to add a
And you
deformer.
wanna have, like, a
'cause
different kind
sometimes
of hatching.
you
Like
do
you
this
want it to
create
have,
new
like, hatching that
deformation
goes
chain.
along the bottom
So you
here.
click
Like, you
that
wanna
guy,
change
you can just go
where that
straight
hatching
into
is
but
using
you
the
actually have to
deformer.
draw like all new
But
hatching.
if you use the
but you also
deformation
still want to
chain,
have
you can
deformation
actually,
on that.
like, say
but the
if you
deformation
create a
the
new
deformer
drawing
that you use
on that
the
layer,
previous drawing,
and you want to have like a
work
different kind
with,
of
the new drawing.
hatching. Like you wanted to have like
so
hatching that goes along the
you
bottom.
do this,
here.
and you
want
can
to
actually
change
have multiple
where that
deformation
hatching
chain,
is,
but you
based
actually have
on
to draw
whichever
like, all new hatching
drawing.
but you
that
also
you're
still
using.
want to have
So you can actually
Gotcha.
have multiple
on
drawings
that.
within a
But
drawing.
the deformation
So we
that
got
you
this main
use
hatcher
on the
hatching
previous
drawing.
drawing.
So you're
work
talking about
with
the
new
like
drawing.
the panel of someone holding a
so
picture of them holding a picture
you
of
do
them holding
this,
that,
and you can
and it's
actually
the
have
same picture going
multiple
all the way. And it's
deformation
kind of like that.
based on whichever drawing.
Kind of, but
no.
no. So you can actually have
so
multiple
let me just
drawings
show you.
within a drawing. So we got our
So we got
deformation
this
chain
main
here.
hatching drawing. Now, if we go to drawing substitutions, you see there's two things here, right? And actually, let me just go into the node view and isolate that. So we selected our hatching. We're on the line layer, and we're on drawing substitutions. I like to have that here up on the node view. There's master controller, there's top, and then there's drawing substitutions. So we do that. Now, if we select that, and then we go to, oh, I guess I'll have to go back to the main view. Rig building. Okay, so if we select that, and then we go to drawing, create empty drawing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just going to draw something super, super flat. And notice that there's two there now. See? Now there's the no exposure, then there's the 1, and then there's the 2. And the 1 has our hatching that we've already established. So let's say I want to get like a hatching that's going to be along the bottom of the belly. Alright, so now I just do that. Bam, 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 bam. I'm just doing it super rough to give you an idea. Now you can see number 2 has that drawing on it. And I can switch back and forth, you know, depending on which one I want to use. If I want to use like the bottom, you know, hatching, or I want to use the side hatching there. And then, you know...
This way you can alternate between to do the show motion for the correct?
I have no idea what you just said.
I said this way. You can to give the impression of movement, like for with the way Trigglypuff was shaking her arms and everything, the way she's moving, and that effect, if you will, gives the effect of the belly moving. That's what that would do. Correct? That's the whole point.
Yes, I mean we will be using a deformer on the belly so that we could kind of like deform it and give it that like really natural looking jiggle.
Mm-hmm.
But in this example, I'm using it on the hatching, just to give you an idea of like why you would want to use a separate drawing for this. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna give a spot display for the belly hatching, so I can like isolate it and make my my deformer. So I got this selected, the deformer, which is like this hammer and wrench here. And then I got the enclosures, the envelope mode, which is basically the only deformer you're ever going to want to use. Sometimes you're going to want to use the freeform mode, which is nice for certain things. And in some cases, I might actually use that for this. But for this one, since it's going to be in one kind of position as she's going back and forth, I'm just going to use the envelope mode. And I'm just going to start from the top here. I'm going to create my deformer and follow it along that main line. It probably won't be perfect.
But I don't want to follow along the main line. I want to go off the beaten path.
No, do not.
Oh.
It is forbidden.
Then now I really want to do it. Dude, you made it forbidden.
So anyway, so there's my deformer, and if I select, now I can kind of like move that, and that'll move, as I need it to. I could kind of like change the direction and stuff, and so that I can have it follow the belly with its the belly's animation. Okay. And then if I ever want to just like reset those back to where they go, like say I move the deformers a whole bunch, bleh, bleh, and bleh. And I'm like, shit, I want to go back to normal. I just like select the different points, and then I hit this thing here, reset current keyframe, and I'll put it back to where it was supposed to be. But back to the example though. Now, if I go back to the drawing substitutions, and then I go to 2, notice that when I use my hotkey, which is I made a custom hotkey for mine. I do Shift D. That's what I use for mine. It's a custom hotkey. Basically it says show or remove deformer. So if I go to 1, see the deformer's there. If I go to 2, the deformer's not there. And that's because I used the create new deformation chain instead of just going straight to a deformer. If I go straight to a deformer, you only have one deformer for that drawing, no matter how many new drawings that you give it, right? Mm-hmm. But if you go to the deformation chain, now that I select this drawing, I can add another deformation chain, get my curve mode, throw in a rough one here, and now that's also got its deformation chain. So we've got a deformation for both of them, and it's a different one. So now, select the first one, different deformation chain, select the second one, different deformation chain. Very versatile, super handy. I was so happy when I found out how to do that. That was one of the best things ever.
Made life simple for you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'm going to get rid of that. I don't want that second deformation chain. I don't even want that second drawing. Actually, I don't think you can delete the drawing. That's one thing I don't think you can do. So
that's good. I'm just going to bust out the pistol.
We're just always going to have a number 2 drawing in there of that super rough one. Because I already made the deformation chain for this. I don't want to have to do it over again. Actually, you know what? I should. I should. So I'm going to undo until I no longer have that second drawing. Oh shit, I can't undo anymore. Well, I'll just delete it. And now I gotta select it.
Make sure it's back on number 1. I really wish there was a way to delete drawings. That's one thing I definitely think that Toon Boom should do, is have a way to delete drawings. Because if you make something and you're just like, I really hate that, I don't want it, I want to be able to delete it, get rid of it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you doing that to give me an example of and how I guess you could say help show the process.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's useful to people. Terminator just joined the chat. Hello, Terminator T800. Thank you for coming and checking this out. He says, my left ear is enjoying this. Glad it is. Hopefully it, you find the learning process for animation quite enjoyable. I hope you're learning a lot.
So wait, my question is this trying to help John Connor T800, or is this trying to kill John Connor? To kill?
Well, he's got the sunglasses on, so that's probably.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, bro.
It's probably the bad one. but anyway,
he will kill. He will kill.
I'm not going to go on for too much longer. So yeah, we spent a lot of time on it already, and so far we've got a belly. A belly with some hatching. So, but I'm going through it step by step for the most part.
And you're also trying to answer, questions.
Yeah.
And
and just chat and have some fun with it as well. So it's not just a pure tutorial. It's not like dry, boring stuff. We're getting a little bit of interaction.
For
stuff.
dry
we're
red eyes.
We're getting some jokes here and there. But yeah.
We about the jokes about. Oh snap! I didn't know you could do that in this game.
Okay. You discovered something in.
Okay, so I grabbed up used the glaive to grab the shotgun, right? Or grab a shotgun, and I went and tried to fire at a dude right as he threw a grenade, and I shot the grenade and blew it up in air.
Nice. Well, I think I've done that before.
See. I mean, I should have figured they would have had something like that, because that's something that you could do in like Halo for the longest time.
Oh, you could shoot the grenades in Halo?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Like, if you saw someone about to throw it, because you could cook grenades in Halo, if you saw someone cooking a grenade, you could actually shoot the grenade in their hand.
Oh, yeah. I think I've done that a couple times. Back in the day, back when I actually played Halo.
Right? Dude, I have the Master Chief Collection installed on my computer right now. I just, I stick to story mode. I can't, but, oh man, if I play the TDM multiplayer and whatnot, oh man, I'm just saying, I did not realize games could make me rage that hard. Like, oh wow.
Now I'm trying to think about how I should approach the tits. I wonder if I had enough followers on YouTube to be able to get monetization. I wonder if I would have lost monetization from this stream alone just for saying tits so much, because we're rigging some tits.
It's all about that ta-ta.
It is not all about those tatas. Those are not good tatas.
Alright. Like, come now. Come now. You wish to see tatas. We shall show you tatas. But they will not be tatas you like.
Let us grab the line on the line layer and the line tool. And we will start making some tits. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do straight line from the start to the end line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, make a new point, bring it out here, and adjust things so we've got the appropriate line direction. Now the other thing, notice it's got like a little lump here where it meets, so I'm going to grab that. I'm going to give it a little bit of curve here. Follow along. And then...
Okay, make sure to, if you're gonna go low like that, to go full Bob Ross. We're gonna put a happy little line right here.
Oh, these are not happy little lines. These are very sad. These are sad little lines. They're so sad.
What I find funny is the, I think it was a Family Guy joke that they made about Bob Ross. Like, we're gonna put a happy little tree here, and if you tell someone that tree's there, I will come to your house and, and you know, it fits. And I chuckle because Bob Ross actually was a
He was a
this
drone
former,
instructor.
yeah, and the whole point why he got back into painting and was so soft spoken and everything is because he wanted to be the exact. He hated being, because he was first a drill instructor and then he was just standard command and leadership in the Air Force and everything, and he just hated to be that guy.
Mm.
I read up on Bob Ross because I was like, how? So what if, why did all of a sudden it stop? Oh, because he died.
Yeah,
Randomly.
Bob Ross was a pretty interesting cat. He was pretty rad. Let's go down a little bit here, and then we'll go up a little bit here. There we go. Nice lumpy line on those breasts.
Bruh. All right. You know how big of a Futurama fan I am, right?
I do not.
All right. A lot of people think Rick and Morty is for intelligent people, but realistically, it's always been Futurama. And then it goes into the writing staff of Futurama collectively held 3 PhDs, 7 master's degrees, and a totaled more than 50 years at Harvard University. Writer Patrick Verone said, or Verone, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, said, "We were easily the most overeducated cartoon writers in history."
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good thing this day and age, considering how far those institutions like Harvard have
Fallen.
Yeah. Now they're just that would
straight
be a
up
good
woke
thing
indoctrination
camps, considering how far those institutions like Harvard have fallen. Now they're just straight up woke indoctrination camps. Go get that nice lumpiness in there. Let's check it out. Yeah, that looks pretty lumpy. Re-education camps. Not too shabby. Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Let's check it out. Yeah, that looks pretty lumpy. That looks pretty gross. Not too shabby. Yeah.
See, that's awesome. You know, we need to Okay, Dylan R. Fagan, he works with the Mythoverse guys a lot.
Yeah. Good fella.
He does all... Huh?
Good fella.
Uh-huh. He does all his drawings, if I remember right, with a tablet in his finger.
For real? Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember right, that's what he said. That I could have swore I caught that in one of his interviews and whatnot.
That's for real? That's rough.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that. That's awful. I mean, kudos to him for being able to do that. To be as precise as he's able to. I wouldn't want to do that. That's awful. Tough. Now, I'm really having a hard time. Kudos to him for being able to do that. There's a lot of thought that goes into this. There's a lot of thought that goes into this. As he's able to. Here's the thing that I have to take into consideration. That's got to be tough. I'm really having a hard time thinking. There's a lot of thought that goes into this. There's a lot of thought that goes into this because there's several ways you can probably do this. I want it to be to actually have up here, and I want it to be not flesh toned, one in one color, one in the other. There's several ways you can probably do this.
Quick question. I should have asked this sooner. Are you using a Wacom or just mouse and keyboard for all your work?
Mouse and keyboard, because all of this is built up with just points and manipulating those points. Creating curves and whatnot. Mouse and keyboard. Because all of this is built up with just tracing it slowly and manipulating accurately as possible. Creating curves. What I'm thinking here is just tracing it tracing it slowly and as accurately as possible. So what I'm thinking here is
hey man, hey, that's life for you, dude. When you're trying to do some animation, like,
This is
there's
tough
a
one.
reason why certain, like, if I remember right, in a lot of shows, just one episode takes, like, what, a month to make?
So, what I'm thinking is I'm going to do the skin color on the color layer, and then I'm going to do the outfit color. What I'm thinking on the underlay layer. I'm going to do the mask, the skin color, this on the color layer that I'm going to put on there. And then I'm going to do the outfit color on the underlay layer. And then the mask cover up this line here, the underlay layer I'm going to put on there. That
Gotcha.
so that it'll just reveal is going to the skin color. I think that's how I'm going to cover up
Okay.
the underlay layer on the top. Yeah, like you gotta think that it'll just reveal it's the skin color. I really like doing the rigging because it's kind of like a puzzle. You know, you got to figure out exactly how you're going to do things. You got to think about this. I don't know. I've always it's kind of really. I really like doing the rigging because it's kind of like a puzzle. You know,
all right.
Figure out exactly how you're going to do things. And I don't know. I've always just really enjoyed that actually.
I'm gonna let you handle this real quick.
So
unfortunately, coffee is, you know, packed full of vitamin P.
Yep, I am familiar with that line. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but it's you know, like just like alcohol in that sense.
Yeah, great. But I will be back momentarily.
Yep, I am familiar with that line color. You know, I don't drink coffee, underlay. But it's so, you know, like just like having the one line that goes here that shows everything. We're going to have line color and so underlay. Line. And there it is. So instead of just having the one line the underlay that goes here, now this is getting a little that shows everything. Here, so what I'm going to do is have actually 3 lines. So we're going to have the line, have them all connect to their own color composite, and the underlay. Now this is getting a little cluttered down here. So what I'm going to do gives me a lot more control. Neostar, you're saying Matt Groening was told by his middle school teacher, "You won't get anywhere drawing spaceships all day." So this gives me a lot more control. I had that same stuff. Neostar, you're saying Matt Groening, like when I was in elementary school, told by his middle school teacher, "You won't get anywhere drawing." I was always getting in trouble for drawing. Boy, was she! Which is so crazy to me. It's like if a kid is creative, I had that same stuff. Following his passion. Like when I was in elementary school, I'm always drawing. And I was always getting in trouble for drawing. And he says, which is so crazy to me. It's like if a kid is creative, show following his passion, episode once a week. You shouldn't punish them. Generally, like they'll create the entire season. And he says, which is usually why they make a couple episodes before airing the show, then only air an episode once. Sometimes they won't even air it. And generally, like they'll create the entire season for one of a show before airing it. Then 10, then 12, then 8. Sometimes they won't even air it in the order the show was supposed to be. Like, I don't know why they don't just do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, you know, and then 6, in 10, chronological 12, order, and then 8, and then 3. I guess sometimes it's just like, weird how that works. I don't know why they don't feel just do like doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know. So here's another thing. We got the chronological order, the tip, but I guess sometimes it's just like, we need to close it off. Just feel like doing this. So here's another thing. This tool we got the line for the stroke tool. And we basically want to create a border for this. And if I press K on the keyboard, it'll show is this tool right here, borderline, which is the stroke tool. And we basically want to create a border for this. And if I press K on the keyboard, it'll show. So then I'm just gonna the borderline that we've created. Lock it off, or give it a little bit of pen tool line that the line follows. Make sure. So then I'm just gonna boop that, lock it off. Follows. Give it a little bit of curve. Actually, I want to give it a make sure it kind of follows that out. Follows that. So that's going to be the border for our color now. Hey Josh, when you get a chance, check out the Bravo Man animated series. I've never heard of it, but I will check it out on your recommendation. The border for our color now. Hey Josh, when you get a chance, check out the Bravo Man animated series. And then I've never heard of it. Going back to the line, check it out on your recommendation. The outfit. So there we go. There's our color layer, and I'm gonna Control X and put it back to the line. Underlay layer. Now the underlay is on the bottom. It's similar, like you overlay on the top, line, then color, then underlay. Control X and put it. That's how that works. The underlay layer. Now the underlay is on the bottom. It's similar, like overlay
now,
on the top, line.
What I'm gonna do,
then color, then underlay. Because I wanna get this.
That's how that works.
Is I'm gonna get the front.
So,
mask. Now, what I'm gonna do. Because I wanna get this just going. Deactivating it for now, so I can see the front the drawing that we're working with. I'm gonna grab the tit mask on the line. Close layer. The tit. Just deactivating it for now, so I can see the straight line, the drawing that we're working with. And I'm gonna grab the tit mask on the line. Hold shift. Layer. Give it that nice straight line. Just a straight line. And then use the handles to follow the curve. Hold shift more accurately. Give it that nice straight line. And as close as we can. Use the handles to follow the curve more accurately. There we go. And then I'm going to make another line here for that. Oops. Follow that. And then I just want to adjust these lines. Give that nice taper. And then I want to get there, 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 and yeah, that should be good.
Here's one for you. Okay.
What's up?
All right. Someone posted, "Can we stop pretending Spider-Man: Homecoming is a bad movie?" And dude, the Sauron guy, Dark Lord of Mordor. You know who I'm talking about, because I think you follow him.
That's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like, Michael Keaton's Vulture is the only thing that saved this movie. It's just a subpar Spider-Man film without him. Thank you. And Matt got up there. I'm not pretending. It killed any interest in seeing any more MCU movies. It's like, I mean, I've been saying it's a bad movie for years.
I like Homecoming.
I hated it.
It's not perfect, but you know, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I really, really love their take on the Vulture. I thought.
Oh, dude, no. Michael Keaton, like, is the only good thing about that movie, if you ask me.
Oh, he crushes it. I actually really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
I know he's got the heat.
It's the writing that kind of kills.
Yes, exactly. It's like Timothy Dalton as Bond. Good choice for Bond, but he just got screwed by just crappy scripts. It's not his fault.
I honestly don't remember a whole lot about that Bond movie. Oh shoot, what was it called again? It was
License to Kill.
License to Kill. Yeah.
He's also got a sequel or another one because he did like 2 or 3. But it's just he had poor scripts, but it really was License to Kill just because it was so badly written. No one really warmed up to him as Bond, and I'm like, that really sucks because he did a fantastic job. He's no like, I will sit there and say, the only reason why I put oh man, I can't believe I forgot his name. The '90s Bond, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why he's my favorite Bond is because he was the Bond when I was a kid, but the one that actually pulled off Bond the best will always be Sean Connery.
I've actually never seen the Sean Connery Bond movies.
Oh, dude, man!
I've only seen the Pierce Brosnan ones, the Daniel Craig ones, and License to Kill. That's it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the other ones.
Oh yeah, no. Me and my friends started watching some of the started with the Sean Connery Bonds and was going through them, and like the thing I always liked, like I didn't even really know this until Sean Connery died. All the fight scenes in those movies where he's actually doing martial arts and whatnot, he's actually trained in martial arts. He's doing Kyokushin. Right. He's doing the style that I have the most training in. So it's like I have to just out of respect to the style, I gotta show.
So, getting back to the chat,
Yes.
Humble Marty says Vulture's the best part of the movie, correct?
Yep.
Neostar says, and I think this is what a lot of the people feel, a lot of the actors are fine, it's just the writing that's mediocre. Spider-Man went from being one of the most self-reliant and proactive superheroes, but was reduced to being Iron Man's Robin. I fully agree. I don't think it's bad writing. I think it's actually, like, as a movie, if you take it on its own, like, if you're completely ignorant of any of the source material regarding Spider-Man, it's good. It's not only a good movie, it's a good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just taking it as it is, MCU being its own thing, completely unrelated to the comics, then I think it's pretty good. And that's how I tend to take it. But I do agree that, like, Spider-Man should be a lot more self-reliant. He shouldn't be just Iron Man's protege. Like, what made Peter Parker and Peter Parker Spider-Man so relatable is that he had to figure a lot of this stuff out on his own. He had to fail and fail and fail and learn from all of those mistakes the hard way. Oh, yeah. Neostar said mediocre, not bad, but yeah, it's mediocre writing. I get you. Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, but yeah, like, going back to what I was saying, like, that's what made him interesting. He had to fail a lot. He had to screw up. He had to, like, accidentally get his uncle killed, and you never even hear about Uncle Ben in the modern MCU Spider-Man movies. I don't understand why.
Well, they did that. They did that on purpose. They did that on purpose.
I know, but it sucks.
Well, it's they do that because, like, take Batman. How many times do we have to see Batman's parents die?
Yeah, I get that, but you can still, like, have reference to it. You don't have to show it all the time, but you can still be like, oh man, Uncle Ben, like, he can lament, he can, you know, kind of just be like, oh, what should I do?
Even
I
if they
Uncle
just
Ben was here to kind of, like, give me some advice. You know, like,
even if they just see him,
I don't think they've mentioned Uncle Ben at all in 2 movies.
Oh no, they haven't. They haven't, and like,
Ridiculous.
they could have even done a simple thing as having him in bed. You start to see him, like, you're seeing him kind of toss and turn, groan a little bit, and you start hearing, you hear the gunshot and him shoot up Uncle Ben.
I wouldn't even do that. Like, you could just have, like, a picture of him and his Uncle Ben on his nightstand, and he could just be like,
well,
you know, and he could just be looking at it, and Aunt May comes in, she's like, yeah, no, I miss him too. He always seemed to know, you know, what to do, you know, when times are tough, you know. And they're not super well off, you know. Times are tough for them, for him and his Aunt May. So I mean, that's a good way to kind of, like, introduce that without having to go through the whole, you know, origin story again. Everybody knows the origin story, but then again, you also have to take into consideration there's always going to be new people being introduced to Spider-Man with a new movie, you know, who aren't going to have that familiarity with the origin. So, you know, those people aren't getting the origin. They're not even hearing about Uncle Ben. They have no idea who Uncle Ben is, what the significance of Uncle Ben is. They're just seeing Iron Man, you know?
Yeah.
And that's their Uncle Ben, essentially. And he died, you know? He's the one that, you know, got that moment with Peter in the MCU. So, I don't know. Like, there's pros and cons to it in many ways. But overall, I think it works, you know, in what they've set up. The MCU is its whole own thing. It's not like a direct representation of, like, the 616 Marvel comics, so I can understand that. I understand, like, they got the multiverse, they got their own thing, they got the X-Men thing, they're connected by the multiverse, you know, and they exist somewhere out there, you know, somewhere out there, the 616, it happens exactly as it does in the 616. And maybe someday they'll see that in the MCU, represented in some capacity, you know, like a Spider-Verse thing in the MCU, like the main problem. I don't know. But Neostar says, that's actually something I've been debating with Riserman. I contemplated Riserman receiving some form of training in regards to his powers. He says, they probably could have worked Uncle Ben into the plot. I mean, Uncle Ben did die sometime after Peter Parker formed the Spider-Man identity. And it probably did go, similarly to how it did in the Raimi films, in some capacity. He, decided to do the wrestling thing, wanted to make some quick cash, impress the girl, but then, because of that, letting the robber go kills his Uncle Ben, but they just didn't touch on it. And that's a pretty big moment to not touch on, at all in two movies. Anyway, let's get off Spider-Man for a minute. Let's get back to this, because I'm about to do something pretty cool. Oh, boy. So, I got this. One thing I realized we need to do is I need to add a new color. And this is going to be green, like a neon green. And this is going to be my mask color. So if you see this, you know that you fucked up, or because you should not see the masks. They are purely to be masks and nothing else. So for the front tit mask, I'm going to create a line. It's going to be something like that. I want to make sure it connects. And I want it to have it give a wide berth, because you want to make sure it hits all the stuff in here, where this cuts off the color of the outfit for the tip. So then I'm just going to fill it with the mask color, and I'm going to copy that, or cut it, and I'm going to put it on the underlay layer. I like to put most of my masks on the underlay layer, just to keep it fairly consistent.
Makes sense.
So now we want to separate them. So get the underlay layer, and then get the line layer. Get those on here, because that's where the line is, that's where the underlay, the mask is. And so we're only going to show the line layer, and the underlay layer is going to cut the color art of the front tit.
Okay.
Or sorry, the yeah, it's going to cut the color. So we're only going to be a revealing cut. The line layer.
Mm.
And
no.
the underlay
Wait,
layer
this isn't Badger Babe.
No,
No!
no, I'm
No!
I'm wrong. I gotta reveal. Or sorry, the underlay layer, or cut the underlay. Yeah, it's gonna cut the color art, but it's gonna be a revealing cut. Which way did I do this? Which one's on top? Oh no. All right. No. Okay. I'm gonna have the underlay layer. I'm gonna have reveal the underlay layer, or cut the underlay layer, because the mask. See, you gotta think. You gotta think. See, which way did I do it?
It's like a lot of things.
There it is. Now the other thing is I need to. I'm gonna have the underlay layer on top, and I'm gonna cut away the underlay layer with the mask. See, you gotta think. You gotta think. So see, there it is. There it is. Now the other thing is I need to also have I'm gonna make another stroke right in here, because we gotta fill that in with the outfit color. Boop. And then of course X that, put it on the color layer.
And real quick while you're doing that, Neostar says, hell, Peter's fondness of Iron Man could probably have been a source of tension between him and his uncle.
Yeah, very well could have. Maybe they had very polarizing views of Iron Man. That's a good point.
That's I know you said get off Spider-Man, but I had to touch on that. That was a fantastic point.
It's fine. I like to touch on whatever the chat's talking about. I like to keep them involved with everything. So there you go. So the mask doesn't connect to the composite, so that you don't see the mask, but it does connect to the cutter for the underlay, where the tit color is. So now you get the color layer revealed as you hide the underlay layer where this cuts off on the line. So now if we put the belly back up, that's what we got so far.
I'm waiting to catch up with the stream and everything.
Yeah. So, making some progress, slowly but surely. Now the
Yep.
next thing we gotta do is I'm going to get a transparency. I'm gonna put that on there. Whoops, no, not on there. I want it on the back tit. There we go. So I can see through.
Nice.
And that way I can get the hatching. Because I can see it. It's very light, but I can see it. I can see it.
Right. So I just tapping beads out of container, like 10 for a decade of Hail Marys. I tapped out 10 perfectly. Just tap, tap, and 10 in my hand.
So I am going to finish. This is going to be the last section that I'm going to do tonight.
That you do tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm going to get the hatching done.
I don't remember what part of Canada you're in. I just know you're in Canada. Speaking of,
in,
how's the weather been there?
In Ottawa. It's been fine. It's weather. It's usual Canadian weather, cold, snow all the time.
Oh, I hate you. We got snow right now, mind you. We got snow right now, and I'm loving it.
Where are you at?
Oklahoma, dude.
Oklahoma.
Like, okay, this is how 20, like, depending on how much you're speeding or whatnot, mind you, you can be in Wichita Falls, Texas, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
really? Wow.
like maybe even 15, like if you're going that fast, like speeding. Huh?
You're that close to Texas, eh?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Like, the joke is what do you call someone from Wichita Falls? An Oklahoman. What do you call someone from Lawton? A Texan.
I don't get it. Geographical American jokes fly right past me.
Well, I mean, haven't you noticed that I have moments where I have a bit of a southern draw with certain words I say?
Not really.
So glad you. I've go through great lengths to cover up my accent.
I'll be honest with you, man. You ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you it straight. I don't.
No.
I don't really
I can. Let me put it to you like this: I've lived down here long enough to where if I can very easily fall into the southern accent. Like, you get me mad, it's hilarious because my German accent that I had when I was a kid from growing up in Germany.
Oh, you grew up in Germany? I didn't know that. Cool.
Yep. But my German accent will come out and it's a mix of like southern accent and German accent, and it's completely fucking hilarious. Certain combinations should not be a thing.
So what makes you bring out the German rage?
No, you just really gotta piss me. Like, y'all have not seen me that mad. Like, ready to kick someone's ass mad. I try not to be that guy. I don't like those guys, so I don't like to get that mad. But when it happens, it is hilarious. My friends have gotten quite a few chuckles out of that over the years.
Yeah, I've been told that I'm quite entertaining, funny entertaining when I'm like really mad, because I'm not like I'm a very animated person.
Well, yeah.
As an animator, but
yeah,
not particularly threatening.
Yes, I could, dude. It's the Canadian kindness thing.
I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just because I'm like just a very animated person, and that just tends to make people laugh instead of be scared. Like, I remember, like, back when I had a girlfriend that, we did get in fights. I mean, my current fiance and I, like, my fiance and I, not current fiance.
I was about to be like, that, you might want to reword that. You might get slapped in the back of the head.
Yeah, of course. But, like, we never fight. But,
that's good.
We have our disagreements every once in a while. We get a little bit upset with each other, but eventually we always talk it out. We never yell at each other. And,
hey, that's what you're supposed to be.
But whenever I would in my previous relationship that wasn't as
Healthy?
As healthy and excellent as my forever relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. Look,
Yes, she stuck with you forever.
We would get into some shouting matches and stuff, and then when I start really getting mad, then she'd just start laughing, and then that would just make me even more mad, and then that would make her laugh more because it's just I'm very animated.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So there you go. Now you know something about my dating history and how I am not particularly threatening
No.
when angry.
Why else do you think I can do such a good German accent? It's because of the fact that I actually was there and was around a lot of Germans. Like, being the fact that my father was an NCO, it was expected that he be involved with the community.
So I should be worried.
You should. Because, I'm that guy, apparently. I don't know.
No, you're a sweetheart. You're a good boy.
Well,
Good boy.
why do I feel like I should be wagging my tail if I had one?
I do that all the time.
Alright.
I call myself a good boy too. I don't know. I'm a dog. I'm a dog person. I like dogs. I love the dog talk. It's funny. It's just got that tenor where you just know they're talking to a dog.
Oh, dude. What's funny is Jack earlier, the new dog at the house, was being a hard-headed pup. But he is. It's because we got him when he was already I'd say about 6-7 months, maybe a little bit older.
Okay. So he's got some stuff to unlearn.
Yes. And I mean, he's a lovable dog. He's just hard-headed.
Stubborn, stuck in his ways.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of dog is it? I love peaches.
Pointer? I think it's what's it called? Something pointer.
Pointer. Okay.
And then you got the dog that was mine that ended up being my dad's. Harley. And she is alright, she looks like a black lab, but she's supposed to be a pit rot mix.
Okay, so now I gotta do the cutter for the front tit hatching. And I'm gonna get, as usual, a what do you call it? Auto patch. And that's gonna go not from the line art or the color art, but actually from the full proper thing, because it always bases it off of line and color art.
Okay.
And that's gonna cut that bad boy. I'm gonna do the reverse, and then there we go. Our tit is basically complete. So that's what it looks like. What we've done so far. That's the belly. That's the front tit. And that's the hatching for the front tit.
Nice.
And yeah, next time, which will be in 2 weeks, I'll continue on with this. Next week, of course, I'm going to be doing the Science Wizard stream, so I'm going to be going off and on each week. So 1 week Science Wizard stream, next week is going to be MANimation stream. So
nice.
there it is. Science Wizard streams. I'll probably work on some Pineapple Pizza Man art, usually. And this I'm going to be working on whatever animation we've got going. So we don't have a whole lot in the works just yet. We just got started back up with the MANimation stuff, just basically yesterday. I mean, COVID put all the lockdowns and all that nonsense just put such a huge wrench in the mix. We had all of these plans, stuff that we were going to do, getting geared up for. And it just,
hey man, that happens. That really does happen, unfortunately.
It does. And we got that wrench came at us hard and fast. So we're gonna do some of this stuff, and then on the offs, I got a commission, an animation commission that we have to finish as well. And that's long overdue. That's the one. It's a big job. And because of the wrench that all the lockdowns got thrown in, that one, yeah, definitely has to take priority off screen.
But on screen we'll be doing these Juanpool comic panels until we got some other MANimation projects that we're doing. We got another one, a little short film idea that we had ruminating in our heads for quite some time, and we might bring back the soy Thundercats. That's always fun. But there we go. We got a belly and a boob tonight. So thanks to everyone who stopped in to chat and to watch and learn and hang out. And hopefully you learned. Hopefully you had some fun. And hopefully you'll join us the next time when we do more nasty boobs and finish off the torso. I'll probably go a little faster with the torso next week. I mean, I'm kind of covering like a lot of like basics. I still got to do redo the deformer for the belly shape hatching, and I have to do deformers for the tit, for the line, for this. There's going to be a lot of deformers on this lady. Basically, everything's going to have a deformer. Every major shape is going to have a deformer because like everything's got to jiggle. Everything's got to jiggle.
Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
Yes. So I'm going to save that as a new version. We'll call that BB_rig_1. Okay.
Nice.
There we go. You always want to save as a new version, you know, instead of saving over stuff. Because if you ever have like something happen, like a power outage, like right while you're saving, and like your file gets corrupted. That's rough stuff. That's rough stuff.
Like, I already hear you cussing and swearing.
That happened to me at work, where I pressed save, and then like 2 seconds later, as it was saving, power outage, and I lost a bunch of work, and I had to go through IT to help, like, to get them to help me like recover some of it, so I didn't have to start from scratch. And whoo-wee, it was rough. And yes,
And the sad thing is, it's not like your superiors can really be mad at you. There's nothing you could do to.
No, it was just luck of the draw, and unfortunately, on that day, I just happened to be like saving over instead of saving a new one because I hadn't done like a ton of work, but it was like a couple hours at least. So yeah, I lost those couple hours. But anyway, I'm gonna call that tonight. Humble Marty says, "Awesome, more of the funky chunky floopy lady." Yes. 2 weeks from now, we will be revisiting Badger Bitch. We will be making more chunks, more floops, more funks, and hopefully we'll be able to progress enough to move on to the face, because that's where things get really fun. That's where you start really seeing like lots of masks and deformers and really cool stuff, and then lots of you got to do a lot of testing along the way. So. Next week we're going to be 2 weeks from now. I'll just say the next time. So next time we're going to reset, you know, the pivot points, because that's really important. You got to have those in the right spot, because you don't want to be deforming, pivoting stuff here when you're squashing and stretching stuff. You want to have it over here, you know, where it connects to the body, so you're flopping and flooping the right way, you know.
Hey, and what's funny is like the last, like, let's say 10 minutes, not even that. I've just been working on a rosary.
Yeah, so anyway, hope you'll join us next time and learn some more. Thank you, Humble Marty. Thank you, Neostar. Thank you, Terminator, and Sadie, and anybody else that was silent but decided to stop by and check it out.
Sure.
Make sure you're following us at MANimations Inc. on Twitter. And make sure to check out our new Patreon. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. Every little bit counts towards building this animation empire and reclaiming it from the soy-infested SJWs that have infiltrated and completely dismantled Western animation. We gotta take
and the reticuloid,
yes.
And the reticuloid handlers that are telling them that they need to be giving them characters to soy and making them, well, let's just say Tinkerbell was nowhere near as dandy as these guys.
Exactly. But anyway, also, make sure to check out Juanpool. where this lovely lady is coming from. So check out more Badger Bitch in the pages of Juanpool issues 1 and 2, available at indieplanet.com/science-wizard-comics. It's available for print and for digital. So if you don't got a lot of money, it's 99 cents. You can just pick up the digital. But if you got, a little bit to, you got a little more cash to spend, you can afford full price for the comic. Pick it up at the regular price. I forget exactly how much it is.
I got issues 1 and 2 with tax and shipping. It came out to I think it came out to $15, $16.
Well, that's not bad. It was a lot more for me because I'm in Canada.
Yes.
It ended up costing $27 for with shipping for both issues. But yeah, no, that's pretty cheap. $15 for both issues stateside. So yeah, definitely check it out, especially if you're in the States. Make sure to follow Troy Torres at MRMVQBoy on Twitter. And be sure to check out my guest for tonight, Bob Jones. That's at Brainiac420 on Twitter. And make sure to check out his A Nerd and Over 30 channel, where he does comic reviews, rants, and game streams and whatnot, and the occasional meeting of the minds, which you got to get me back on there sometime, man. We'll do a meeting of the minds.
Definitely. It's pretty much right now. Chuck has a guest for I think next week, but after that we're open. It's just a matter of getting guests and everything and having all the schedules line up, if you will.
Yeah. One of these days I'll get back on there. Hopefully soon.
Sure.
Right. Thanks again, everybody, and make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Later, folks.